Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We are here. We are live. We shut this music off, and we're going to get down to it. I love music like anybody else, but sometimes we have to get quiet. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of LANCESCURV. We're going to do this around the clock. People are going to be saying, like, this guy is on here every hour. Doesn't he sleep? That's my kamikaze approach right now. We're just going to run it till the wheels go off. Whatever you have in abundance, whatever you have that's great about your life, whatever you have, use it to your best advantage. Me, I got time. So we're going to run it on the phone, on the camera, on the live stream. We're just going to be like Mike Tyson, just keep on throwing these punches. Anyway, tentatively later on, we're going to have Sister Danina. We were supposed to confirm through a phone call, but we pretty much confirmed it. But she's in a situation where she probably couldn't make the phone call at the time. So I'm just going to put that out there. If you do not see it, we will be doing it on another day. But today it was locked in stone a couple of days ago. And today I want to speak about, in a very coded way, what's going on in the world. Me, myself, I have to be very careful how I say things. It doesn't mean that I'm a coward. It doesn't mean that I'm afraid. All it means is that I have to be careful. And why? Well, I'm a black man who is speaking my mind, and there are people who don't like that. But I've noticed on other platforms, with people who don't look like me, they can say whatever they want to say, and it's just cool. They let them slide and say it. And meanwhile, I want to say some of the same things, but I can't. That being said, just understand that it's not fear, but I'd rather be here to connect with the people as opposed to being shut out. You have enough intelligence to know what I'm saying between the lines. Now, listen, you all know what is going on out in the world right now, right? And hold on one second. Yeah, but as you well know, sorry about that. I had to make a comment to someone. Yeah. These days, we have wars and rumors of wars. We have wars all over the world going on right now. Maybe many people don't understand it. I'm just going to piggyback off of what I spoke on yesterday. This is basically a continuation, but there is so much going on, and we have our face stuck in foolishness. We are not supposed to move in fear, especially when we're in situations where it's not our fight. Read between the lines what I'm saying. They're still going to try to come after me. They messed with the stream yesterday, and I got a good hour and change in. They're going to mess with it again today, and I'm just going to keep on going. But you cannot say that I'm violating some type of conjured up rule because I'm speaking this way. Listen, the way the planet looks, it's like a teenage girl who wanted to go to the prom, but the night before, she went to Dunkin' Donuts and ate 3 boxes of donuts, and she has zits and pimples all over her face, and now it's evident what she did the night before. So she doesn't want to take pictures. So she takes the pictures and photoshops the zits off the face. Well, what do you think the mainstream media is doing? Did I say mainstream media? Well, I did say it, and you can see by what I've constructed as far as a banner in the background, you might know some of these symbols. And you see, a lot of us feed off of what they put out. But I want to ask you a question, and you got to dig deep in a very coded way. Who owns these so-called mainstream media outlets? Who? Just like Hollywood. Who? So the imagery of what's happening in the world is slanted to favor those who own it. So when those who own it have a connection to a dispute on a major level that's going on outside in the world, who do you think they're going to favor in their reporting? It's obvious. It's almost like wrestling, where you see one guy talking trash against the other, and another guy talking trash against the other one. Who's going to win? I'm going to do this, and I'm going to, and we buy it hook, line, and sinker. Well, guess what? Isn't it funny that after the wrestling match and those fake packets of blood are exploded in the ring and they're bouncing chairs off of each other's head and jumping off the ring post? They trained for that. After the wrestling match, you go to a diner not too far, and you see those who are just fighting each other, wrestling each other, sitting next to each other or near each other, sharing a joke with their girlfriends and some of the people who are promoting that event. It's a sham. So if I own the local newspaper and my younger brother commits a crime, a violation, and kills or deletes, I wasn't supposed to say that word, but he deletes someone else, but I own the local newspaper, so the people in the town don't know really that I own it. I say somebody else owns it, but it's my hand who pulls the hidden strings. Well, guess what? When I report on the fact that my brother, and it's not me reporting, I have other people to work along with me as a smoke screen. Well, guess what? When it's reported that my brother deleted someone off of the face of the earth, never to come back again, what do? I report that it's possibly self-defense. I report that he was home and someone came into his house and he was shocked and he pulled out his weapon. You see, if I'm related to that person, right, I'm going to report it the way that I want to report it. And I'm going to slant it in my favor. Right? So, hold on one second. Oh, you want that? It's right here. Hold on, everybody. It's in the bag there. I didn't mute that. That's Mrs. Scurv. Yeah, I should have came over here and said hi to everybody since you interrupted my flow. But I'll let you go because you're going to cook me a nice breakfast, right? Anyway. Mrs. Scurv said hi to everybody. Okay, let's get back on it. Conjure Woman, welcome. Reese, welcome on in. We're freestyling as usual. I'm trying to say this in a way that we can absorb it without putting my ass on the line. So we slant that story. But in reality, he's a stone cold deleter. But I don't want that going out there. I don't want that going out there. No, I don't want that going out there. So I'm going to protect my brother's reputation, even though I know he had no right to do what he did. because I own that local newspaper, and the people in the town who don't know that I own it, because if they knew that I ran that local newspaper, they would make the connection that I'm slanted toward favoring and covering the actions of my brother, right? So am I really speaking about a local newspaper? Am I really speaking about my brother? No, I'm speaking about another situation that's going on in the world right now, right? Today is supposed to be a big party going on. There is a group that said that I'm mad as hell and I ain't gonna take it no more, and we're gonna do something worldwide. There's gonna be a worldwide party. Hopefully not. Let's get back to that other point. Again, who owns these outlets? They're the brother that owns those outlets. And they have relatives that have done something that they want to slant to the world so that we run around and demonize those who are not really the ones who go to TikTok, y'all, and read your media from there. Get it from there on these stories that are happening today, and look in the comment section and see. Let me hip you to something. I've said it before. In America, those social media outlets that are based in America and beyond, it's a worldwide thing, but it's based in America. And if it's not, it's influenced by American influences, right? Influenced by American influences. That's a legitimate thing. I use two words in the same sentence. Just waking up. Didn't even wipe the stuff out the corner out of my eye, right? But that being said, they will filter what you see, and they're influenced the same way, right? But they mix it in with a lot of booty shaking. They mix it in with a lot of foolishness and pranks and, you know, things to pull you in, and you say, this thing is so sweet. When it comes to the news, then you must be telling the truth. But you're only getting part of a story. They filter everything through too. And they are under the order of that hierarchy of the string pullers that you don't see, who lurk in the shadows. That being said, how can you trust it? Now we have TikTok. Now, TikTok has a lot of foolishness on it because many of the people, and it's a lot of our people, get on there and do stupidity. So 85% of us are already shot down and gone. We're not conscious. Look, some people can talk a little bit of conscious stuff, but it's tainted with the mind of being carnal and pursuing hedonistic endeavors. So you're already poisoned. It's almost like they'll say, it's almost like being a little bit pregnant. Either you're pregnant or you're not. Oh, it's like having a little bit, and I'm not making fun from anybody who's going through this, but, oh, I just have a little bit of HIV. No, either you have it or you don't. So those who are part-time conscious Negroes who can flip a switch and talk sense for a time, if you're not all in, you're done. Because this thing, the ignorance, is like a cancer, a malignant tumor that's spreading. It can't coexist. There comes a point in your life where you have to let certain things go. And either you're all in or you're not in at all, because as I always say, neutrality is negativity. You're either or you're all. There is no right on the fence. Either you speak out, or when you shut up, you're already telling me you're for the other side. There's no two ways about it. I don't know where we get this neutral. I'm neutral. No, you're not. No, you're not. If you go down and divide it just right, you're either on one side or the other, or you're a hypocrite and a potential Benedict Arnold turncoat Judas. You come to me with that neutrality stuff, you're gone. You ain't riding the fence. It's just like what 50 Cent said. If I have an enemy and you're hanging out with that enemy, that means you're an enemy. Because in this day and age, we have so many dream killers and so many spirit killers that we can't take a chance allowing anyone into our inner circle that could potentially destroy us or bring intel out. Keep it tight and keep your eyes on everyone around you, because this is a crucial time. I am 60 years old. It doesn't mean that a 20-year-old has to have my same sense of urgency, because I have lived a nice long life and I'm looking forward to more. But when you get to a certain chronological age, you're faced with a choice to say, hey, I got a little bit of sense here. Let me double my age and see what I will be. And what is the expected lifespan? So I'm willing to bet, and maybe I'm wrong, and I hope that I'm wrong, but I'm over the halfway mark in my lifespan. I'm not going to keep thinking that, because I would like to be 120 years old. You know, I might be somewhere in an assisted living facility, but I can get away with smacking pretty girls on their butts. Oh, he's just 120 years old. I let him, but he touched my breast. I let him go. He's on his way out. You can have all the fun then. But what I'm saying is that you should come into a place where you see the chronological time moving, and you should be higher in what you view, what you see. And I want to go higher before I'm on my way out. So therefore, the foolishness of this world that you see on social media doesn't interest me at all. Oh, I have a sense of humor. Y'all know I love to tell jokes, and I can get down with the best of them. But behind the jokes, even the jokes are becoming more conscious. And I'm going to stop using that word, because so many watered down frauds use that word. You're born conscious. What you mean? You're a little kid and you walk in the middle of the night, go into the bathroom, or you walk through the living room and bang your knee on the coffee table. You become conscious of the fact that there's a coffee table and you don't like pain, right? So don't use that word, conscious. What does it mean? So you're saying everybody else is dumb, that they're unconscious, and you're conscious on social media, and all you can do is look at butts all day? Now, to be real, I'm gonna say it raw. I love ass. I'm a man. But can I say that? Because black masculinity is illegal in the world today. But if I was saying, I like ass, it may not be what you like. Oh, isn't it a pretty rainbow in the sky? They'd have no problem with it. This is why this video will probably get negative 254 hits. That's what they do. But there comes a time when you have to wake up and see things for what they are, and you cannot be afraid, because I feel that if you see an atrocity, if you see a violation going on in the world today, and you don't open your mouth about it, stop with that neutral crap. Of course, we are in someone else's house on YouTube, so I have to behave myself a certain way and enunciate my words properly, so I don't step on anybody's toes. Because see, already my very presence here, speaking like this, being polite, being a nice Negro, is still offensive, because they know good and damn well what I'm saying between the lines. What is wrong with y'all people? This ain't our fight. Let them fight. Let balance happen. Just because you got to go out, or you want to go out and walk up and down the commercial strip where all the stores are, that's what you want to do. So if it starts pouring down raining, the bigger mission of the world is to water those plants, that you can have some fruit to eat later on, or some vegetables to eat later on. But we are so caught up in our own selfish existence that we can't see the wider picture. This world is going crazy, and y'all don't see it, because you have your head stuck in the mud like a pig. You need to pull away from all of this. You've given your mind to this thing called media and mainstream media, and you don't research things for yourself. Like I was speaking on TikTok. There's a time I despised this thing called TikTok. I'm like, I'm not going on that daggone thing. Wait, what use is it for me? And then I looked a little deeper and heard how there were people in politics in America who wanted to ban TikTok. I said, wait a second. These politicians, they're not my friend, even if it's a different state that they're in and don't have as much reach. But why would they do this? So any enemy of my enemy is my friend. See, it works in the reverse. It's algebraic. Just the same way I said, if you hang out with my enemy, you're my enemy because you have something in common with them and I can't trust you. So when they started talking that way, I said, there's got to be a reason, because they're not speaking about banning Instagram or banning Facebook or banning YouTube. So why? Why do they want to ban TikTok? Now, I know most of the Asians, Chinese who, they don't give a damn about me either. We know this. They're not my friend. But the American hierarchies can't shadow ban people on a platform that's not based out of their country. So when black folks get on TikTok and speak some truth, it gets out further and it's helping by the way it's constructed to bring people together. Because you can talk directly to, you can't do that with YouTube unless you leave a comment, drop an email. Look how that works. You can blow up faster. You can reach the people who think like you faster without the intervention of the former slave master. So I said, you know what? Let me get in on that. Because you see my numbers. My numbers never move. I can throw up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos. There'll be coming a day when I'm doing 10 a day. So go and keep up with that. And it'll be all over the place. And it'll become a time where I say to YouTube, bye, don't need you no more. We don't need you now. I've been established for a long time. And I'm not just a talking head. I write and I draw. I'm a political illustrator. You can't stop that. Like I always joke and say, what is YouTube going to turn around and say, call up the pension people that pay me my pension check? Well, you need to stop his pension check. We have to punish him. If you have your hands in so many things, like my father used to tell me, if a table has 25 legs under it, and 5 of those legs under the table that's supporting your table, you at the table and the legs are supporting you, and 5 of them catch your attitude and leave. You got 20 more legs holding you up, and all you need is 4. So we have to think beyond the grip that social media and mainstream so-called media has on our minds, because who they demonize may be the victim. Because they demonize us, don't they? So when they demonize somebody else in another country that's getting unfair treatment, that's been smeared for decades, because there's a relation between those who own social media and mainstream media with those people. You hear me, Hollywood? You hear me, mainstream so-called media? They're not separate. Let's pick names now. Look at the two who have always been against each other. Look at Fox News. Look at CNN. Well, it's already known that Fox News is basically Republican and CNN is Democrat and liberal. And I don't do politics like that. But here we are watching these different news programs, so-called, that report on the same exact thing, but they slant it to favor their side. But at the end of the day, it's owned by the same people. And we are fighting over politics through their lens, through their eyes. And we don't understand that we are foolish and divided while they laugh at the control that they have over us. Like that wrestling match, and we're arguing who's going to win the wrestling match. But they're both at the diner afterward, enjoying a meal, counting their money. The next day, they're on their way to the bank laughing. And the next time they fight, the next guy wins, and you keep it going and keep it going with the slanted stories, and you don't even know your own damn reality, and you won't even accept your positioning in the world according to them, because they're always going to have you as a low man on a totem pole. And that means woman too when I say man. Always, at the end of the day, you're the one who is told last what's going on. Black people up on these programs arguing Republican, Democrat, Republican, liberal, independent, libertarian. Oh, and when them cops pull you over, they don't care what you are. I'm LGBT. They may give you a break then because you're no threat. You understand? I mean, if you're one who played in the backyard and slipped in a dog mess and liked it, they're not going to bother you. They're not going to bother you. But when you see above all of this, when the clouds come over and I look in the backyard and it becomes more daylight and the clouds drop, because I'm up in the clouds now, I can see over what those below me can't see. They call it fog, I call it clouds. So when it drops over the rest of the city and I peer out over the horizon, I can see things that the people who are on a lower altitude cannot see. That's the problem with us. Our minds are in and on a lower altitude, and we're kept there. We have these stories coming out. Oh, we found the killer of Tupac Shakur. Well, when did you not know that? They hold things back and they put things out. I will say this, and I have to say this in a very, very, very coded way, because your buddies at the mainstream media never even reported this, but this was forwarded to me. I got to really think about how I'm going to say this. Imagine, okay, I'm going to say it this way. I'm going to say this real abstract. This might go over your heads. Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Michael Spinks, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Floyd Mayweather. They're all boxers, right? And what do boxers do? What is the mainstay of the attack of a really good boxer? The jab. Always work off the jab. Don't try to throw a right cross first. Maybe Roy Jones could do that, or Muhammad Ali could do that, or Floyd Mayweather can do that. But most of us are not fast enough to deliver any other blow by itself. So it's good to work the jab. It temporarily blinds the opponent, and it sets it up that you can come with something else quick if you have enough speed. If you're a slugger and you don't have the speed, well, you better be a strong slugger, because we have sluggers that don't even have enough strength. So you got to get in, put your head in the opponent's chest, because if your head is in the opponent's chest, he can't hit you. So that's the best plan of attack. But coming in, you might get caught with something. But we say the jab, the jab. Muhammad Ali had a great jab. Larry Holmes had a great jab. Sugar Ray Leonard had a great jab. But imagine every time that jab hit you, and those of us who are in the street boxing, it hits us. There's a substance. Like when Muhammad Ali fought Sonny Liston in 1964. And in one of the rounds, some of the liniment that they used on Sonny Liston's forehead and around his eyes, right? It got on the gloves of Muhammad Ali, right? And as he would touch his forehead before he threw a jab, whatever, it got into his eyes and he couldn't see. So the jab that Muhammad Ali had was dangerous to him because of what was on Sonny Liston. The jab is dangerous because now all of a sudden there's substances that might be malignant. And what do we call malignant things or benign things? So if you can't figure it out, you email me at lance@lancescurv.com and I'll tell you straight up what it is, and it's official. Let me go on to say again, the world is messed up. We have to go back, like my ascended brother, ancestor, Holla would say, Sankofa, go back to the original way of what it was. That is the best way before this tainted existence that we have in the world now came to be. And what is that for us? To go back to our original spirituality, not the crack stuff that some of these false prophets who want to throw in an ankh and talking riddles and don't know shit. Never read a book. Watch YouTube videos, and 1 week to the next, they change their mind. 1 week, they're talking one thing, and the next week, they tap me on the shoulder. Oh, you know the world is flat, right? Get out of here, you quack. And that's another thing. I'll get back on this. We got to stop following everybody and their mama who gets on YouTube and sounds a certain way and comes with this stuff because it's watered down and they got it from somewhere else anyway. So here we are, the sheep leading the sheep, and we form and fashion very powerful sounding words, but it ain't doing jack for us in our personal lives. I'm a regular dude. I'm that dude that you met on the bus stop. I'm that dude that you sat next to at the doctor's office in the waiting room. I'm the person behind you, in front of you, in the Walmart supermarket checkout line. Ain't nothing special about me. Only thing, I'm not gonna lie to you, from what I see, and maybe years ago in my development into becoming who I am now, I might have got deceived a little bit and said this or that, but I leave it up to show you the growth and consistency. This YouTube thing, this social media thing, it attracts so many people, so many narcissists, so many attention-starved people. And when they get the mic in front of them and get a cam and a computer in front of them, they're like that little kid who's outside of the 5 and dime store. Up in New York, they used to call it Woolworth. In different parts of America, they have it as different names, but it's the 5 and dime store. They don't call it that no more because of inflation. It might be the $10 or $20 store now, right? But it was a 5 and dime store. And there was that little car that sat on a base, a little tiny car that a kid can sit in. It didn't go anywhere. All it did was lean back, lean forward, lean to the right, lean to the left, and the kid didn't know that it had nothing to do with how that vehicle moved. The kid thought, I'm driving this vehicle. And so you'd sit your child in there on the way out. You're over there, one adult will stay with them, and the other ones are going to take the groceries and put everything in the trunk if you're driving. So you put the dime and the nickel in. Tell them my age. After you put the child in, and all of a sudden it starts to move, and the child feels like, wow, I'm driving. You know that kid ain't driving nothing. And the mother or the father or both will say, you drove quite well. And the kid feels proud. And that's us on social media. We feel as though we're doing something, and we ain't doing jack. I'm just expressing myself. This is one small part of my life because I love to run my mouth. And along the way down this journey, in this path, I've met some wonderful people. Some come, some go, some stay. Some are friends, and some damn sure turn into enemies. But that doesn't stop my journey. But you've got to stop engaging yourself to the point where you getting your feelings hurt. You getting all roused up off of foolishness. We arguing like them roaches under the refrigerator over those crumbs that drop down under the refrigerator. We're so much fighting over those crumbs of attention that we don't realize the exterminator is on its way. And we don't realize that as roaches. I'm not calling black people roaches. I'm just using an example because maybe some of us are. You see some feet walking around in that kitchen that you're not used to seeing. You see these big boots. We don't care. You keep on snacking on the crumbs that are stale, the crumbs that are no good. And all of a sudden we all get sprayed. You see, while we argue over stupid things, our destruction is already planned. So when others have their fights, others have their battles, listen, I don't agree with civilians and children and elderly being killed and deleted. I don't care who you are. But why am I supposed to have sympathy and empathy for those who don't care about me? Now, people are living their lives all over the world, and they may see or overhear one of my videos or somebody who looks like me, and they may not have a connection. But when those who have a connection in the country that you were born and raised in, who see what's going on, and you have a relationship where it exploits you and they don't care about you, then we got a problem. Because you want me to go all out and defend that? I've always been one who has been vocal, and people thought I was crazy. Lance, I don't know. You're sounding, anti-American. You're sounding this, and you're sounding this way, and that. Anti-American? Well, when have they embraced us? We fought in all the wars in the world, especially in America. But when do they look out for us? When do you see these people who are doing the dirty deeds today? When do you see them defend us? They know all about us, but they want us to go and run behind them and talk about them. We have been the dookie stick of the world for a very long time. The dookie stick, if you don't know, you're outside in the street playing, you want to play baseball, softball, you want to run and do a race. So a certain part of the street has to be clean. So a dog did a number 2 by the curb, and you don't want to slip and fall in that stuff. So you get a branch. You get a branch off a tree, a little limb, some little switch, and you push the dookie away. But you don't sit there and hold on to that stick when it got that mess on there. You throw it away. Look at that. Look how twisted it is, and nobody's complaining. They have the so-called migrants coming in that really don't look like us. Some might have a little brown in them, but they ain't identifying with us. They ain't coming here to help our fight. And they're coming in en masse in America. But then those who are from Haiti, they got to go back. What's that all about? They let everybody else come on in Ukraine, come on in, migrants. And that's the problem, because with the border being as it is, from what I'm hearing, there is no border patrol that stops people from coming in, and these people are forcing their way in. They're busting them in, they're flying them in. And when you walk across the border patrol, all they do is to help facilitate you, or you have a certain court date. Just make sure to show, but welcome, come on in. Now you have today where, I'm not going to say the name, but they call them, mainstream media calls them terrorists. Other people call them freedom fighters. It all depends on what side of the fence you're on. And don't talk about you neutral. They claimed a global day, I'll say the word jihad. No matter where you are, even if you got one eye and you are in a wheelchair and you're 102 years old and you're being wheeled down the aisle of a supermarket, smack everything off the suit. Just cause disruption as much as you can and destruction. This is what they're saying. But then it was also pointed out to me in a deep conversation I was having last night that on the 14th of October, there's going to be this solar eclipse. I don't know to what degree. Is it going to be a total eclipse or is it going to be partial? But they say this on the 13th, right before the eclipse. What does that mean? Right? But then again, we found Tupac's murderer. And all of a sudden, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith are revealing that they've been not divorced, but separated for 7 years. Who cares? Who cares? Jada Pinkett Smith been giving us stuff away all the whole time, and we as black folks, it's on the root, the griot, even TMZ, which is owned by those people, but they throw stuff out to keep us distracted. Who cares? These people don't care about you. They're willing pawns to distract you. But the world is off. And what they report on the news, we all know is slanted. So I'm not going to talk about that no more. If you don't know, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. But it's amazing how stupid we have become as a people, because That's my first concern, but I can't sugarcoat it like the mainstream media does to deceive you. I'm telling you what it is. We as Black people, and I know there's always going to be that person, you can't use the word Black. The Black's Law Dictionary. I know that. But I was born in 1963 in a spirit of say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud. Hell, there are those out here who can say they're proud of playing in doo-doo, but I can't say the word Black. The word Black don't stink like crap, like feces, but we defend those who play in it. And it is what it is. Again, if you don't see me no more here, you can always come to LANCESCURV.com and get it on the daily, because I'll be on other platforms uploading my stuff on LANCESCURV.com. But I can't see it and not talk about it. You know, people start talking about, well, you know, I'm getting old, man. I'm 40 years old. Well, hell, what does that make me, a dinosaur? Does that make me a relic at 60? See, I don't think like most people do. They accept this rundown state of mind and state of being. Aches and pains, good man, so and so. I don't see it. And I know we're made to expire, but we kill ourselves off with our own thoughts. Like I always like to say, everything you see is the product of a thought. And so when we have someone control our thoughts and we accept those thoughts as reality and it's negative, we begin to run down. How do you feel when Black folks live in neighborhoods that are targeted from many years ago to be gentrified? And some of those same Black folks in that neighborhood, man, ain't nothing around here. Ain't nothing but drug dealing and prostitution and crackheads and lazy people. We get our checks and we ain't got nothing going on because this the hood. That's because somebody made you believe that it's the hood. And then we have the gentrifiers coming around. And all of a sudden you see a couple of faces of the blonde, blue-eyed white woman walking her poodle through the hood. And you know us as Black people, we ain't gonna mess with them because we know that it's not me saying this, but there's a higher penalty to pay if you violate one of them. And they know that. Because up in Harlem, New York, before it was gentrified, you'd see them coming around. Good morning, how are you? Hey, man, that white man must be packing a pistol, man. He walking through the hood. No, the mentality of the hood is that they'll snuff you out first before they touch that white flesh. That's why they come all over Africa and all over up in the mountains and see the spiritualists and stuff. And 95% of those who claim the spiritualism, they're stupid too, and the stuff don't work. But some of it does. And I've been learning a whole lot, but I learned to keep my mouth shut too. So we accept that this place is the hood because we've been made to accept that. And then you leave, you move out, you're pushed up because the rents are too high. And the taxes become too high. And the new mortgages that are coming in, you can't afford. And you're harassed in your own hood neighborhood by the police. And your children who should inherit your little piece of property that may be somewhat downtrodden because it's the hood, they can't get a job or do anything. They have to do it independently because if you pass on, how are they going to maintain that? Even if there's no mortgage on it, you got taxes to pay. You got things to do. And you can't get a job. What are you forced to do? Sell drugs? Prostitute? Then you get locked up. So they obliterate the neighborhood, but they don't do it overnight. When you see gentrification, somebody 20 years or 25 years before targeted that area. And the mainstream media will put it out there that that targeted area is a hood. And you go on believing that. So now you're out of the so-called hood and you come back years later and you look around and you say, wait a second, look at that. There's a Starbucks. There's an all-night laundry. There's a gym, 24 hours. And the people in that gym don't look like you. I mean, you can come there, but they're not going to make you feel welcome. And you're like, I can't believe how they changed this neighborhood. Because they had vision and you didn't. And you believe what they put out there on the news about, yes, it was bad too. But when you don't respect something because the world doesn't respect it, you act accordingly. I should know. I drove a bus for many, many years in Orlando, Florida, through the hoods. I'm not calling it that because they're wonderful people that have lived there. But there are people who, man, you got seniority. You don't have to take that bus route through Tangelo Park. You don't have to take that bus route through Washington Shores, Ivy Lane. You don't have to take that bus route all the way through there like that. Why are you going through Orange Center at night? Orange Blossom Trail at night? Come on, y'all. Anybody who lives in Orlando knows how those neighborhoods are designated. And I'll say it because I'm out of there. I did the 21 route. Nobody wanted to do the 21 route because the 21 route damn near went through every hood in that particular area of Orlando. And I didn't have no problem because those are the people who look like me and I speak their language. And I always try to encourage and motivate and kick a little science and also have science kick back to me. It was a process. We learned together. We shared together because we communicated with each other. And many of the people I brought on the show, on the platform, many a times I had my camera with me on my layover. And you know, if you've been on this platform for a long time and you dig deep enough, I had a thing that I called Bus Stop Confessions. And I just videotaped things that were going on and talked to the people. But the newbies don't know that. You haven't dug deep enough into the crates. This ain't no new fad for me. No, I've been living this for a very, very, very long time. And even before I knew what social media was, I was out in the street, not as a street guy, but as a person who vibed. From when I was single-digit ages, my father taught me to do that. He took me around and gave me a storehouse of experiences and observations that go back to my single-digit ages in the 60s. Yes, I was aware. So this is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm a straight black man, so I'm a threat. I'm not supposed to be here right now. I should be, according to them, strung out on drugs, locked up somewhere for beating my woman, locked up somewhere for getting frustrated that I couldn't get a job that paid enough to pay my bills, and I tried to rob a store or a bank, or gave up on me being a straight black man, and to their liking, becoming something I wasn't born to be. See, you're not a threat then when your penis is not pointed to a black vagina to procreate, to make more of you. When it's pointed to another man's anus, that's okay, because no life comes out of the next man's anus. LANCESCURV.com, y'all. If y'all don't see me here no more, that's where you got to go. That's where you got to go. Tired of what I see. But everybody else can talk, but I can't talk. Let me see if I can pull something up here and play it. It may work, it may not work, but I didn't say it. This man said it. And if I say it, let's see here. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let's see if this works. Okay, here we go. Not working. Connection's not there. Let's see. Let me go into my settings on my phone. I want to play this through my phone. Let's go there, y'all. Make sure this thing is connected. It is. Maybe it's connected to the wrong one. Let's see. Let's try this other one. I have several of them here. I got all kind of audio weaponry here. And when the laboratory is finished and you all can see it, they're about 2 months away. I'm not going to reveal nothing until it's dope. What they're going to do in America? Stop me? I'm not in America no more. Okay, looks like this is not going to work the way I wanted. It's just always some slight technicality. This is on. It couldn't connect. Let's see if it can connect with this one. Let's see. We'll try. Okay, they say it's connected. Okay, this is what it is. I think I found it. I'm looking in the phone, and it's one button I had to push. Let's see if it works now. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see.
But today I wanted to provide some important context that is often not mentioned in the.
Let me know if you can hear that man's voice. It's not my voice. I'm gonna run it back. We'll play a few seconds of this, just audio.
The entire world is watching the horrific conflict in Israel-Palestine. But today I wanted to provide some important context that is often not mentioned in the Western media. And I really need to emphasize that what Israel is doing right now is indiscriminately bombing one of the most densely populated regions on the planet. Israel is killing large numbers of civilians, including hundreds of children who have been killed in Israeli bombing in just a few days. Israel is bombing everything, especially apartment buildings, and that this means that entire Palestinian families are being killed, entire families. Furthermore, Israel is bombing hospitals, schools, other civilian infrastructure. Now, of course, Israel and its supporters in Western governments are claiming that these attacks are against military targets, but no, they are against Palestinian civilians. Meanwhile, the entire Gaza Strip has been blockaded. There is no electricity. There is no food. There is no water. This is a medieval style siege, and Israeli officials are using borderline genocidal rhetoric, referring to Palestinians as animals. At the same time, Israel is bombing its neighbors like Syria and Lebanon, and there is the possibility that this violence could expand into a regional war. Now, in a previous...
Okay, I'm not going to play all of it because, you know, they're going to come and say what they say. But like I said, my father used to joke sometimes when we would be talking, and he joked sometimes. And because he was getting older, and he passed away in November of 1990, and they're friends of mine who would be around, and we would speak of things that happened with police, and you know, that happened to me in 1989 where I was beat by those 11 police officers. That woke something up inside of me. And he passed away the next year. And why I didn't take it to trial was because I knew he wasn't well. He had Alzheimer's and diabetes. And if I took it to trial after that thing happened to me and I lost the trial, I was going to get a guaranteed 1.5 years on charges that were put on me that I was not guilty of. I did not assault any officers. I'm not going to get too much into that story. I'll just tell a little bit for those who don't know me. I was pulled over for having a brand new car, a 1989 Buick Regal, the first aerodynamic one there, tinted windows, nice rims, everything like that. I took a friend of mine to an all-night store because his mother wanted some extra stuff to cook for the father before work. And this was on a Sunday night. I think it was a Sunday night, maybe Sunday or Tuesday. It didn't matter. We were all over his house, his sisters, us, friendly, no drugs, a family, a decent family. The mother was there, the father was going to sleep, and my car was the one that had just pulled into the driveway. So why should my friend and all of us who were there parked in the driveway pull out all their cars? And so I said, come on, let's go. And another person who was related to the family, who had married one of the sisters, we drove. We didn't want to drive all the way out to Pathmark on Rockaway Boulevard. She just wanted some eggs. She wanted some little orange juice. She already had stuff. So I said, okay, we'll go there to the all-night store. It might be a little more expensive, but we'll come back because we were having fun. We were playing music, telling jokes in the basement. We were having fun, clean fun, family fun. And so after getting the stuff, we had to hook around to the street to go back. We were up on Parsons Boulevard and Hillside Avenue where we got the stuff, and we turned around the next block to come down that street. And that particular street was known for prostitutes. Were we looking to pick up prostitutes? No. But all of a sudden, there was a cop car that got behind us, and they cut all of their lights off and rolled my bumper for about maybe 1.5 feet or a foot. I wasn't speeding. Now, because of the men who were looking at the erotic menus of the well-shaped black woman's derriere, it wasn't me. What am I going to do? Run into the back of the car? We went down that block to get on up out of there because the next block to hook around was 3 blocks up. We didn't know it was going to be that busy. The cops are there seeing what's going on. They're not doing nothing about that, but they pick us who have this car, this brand new car. Bought it in December of 88, and it was at 89. The thing was new looking. I mean, it still had that glossy. It was all black. And the windows were tinted because I like my windows tinted. In those days, tinted windows weren't illegal. So they got behind me, and I hooked a left on 89th Avenue, heading back toward the area of Parsons Boulevard where the family court is, and there's a church there. All of a sudden, the lights go off. I pull over. A white female officer comes to the passenger side and says, "You're driving with no insurance." And I said, "Well, I'm not here to argue with you, but you can look in my glove box right there, the glove compartment, and see that I have everything. There's no way I can drive this brand new car off of the lot without total coverage." So she said, "That makes sense." And I said, "I'm not trying to say that you are inept, but I had a black Buick Skyhawk. I had about 3 cars then. I had an old Mercedes Benz. I had a black Buick Skyhawk. I had a Volkswagen Jetta, stick shift. That's what I learned how to drive the stick. And cars come and go, "Hey man, I'm getting rid of this for $600. You'll buy it because maybe somebody you know down the line will give you $1,000 for it." I was a legitimate hustler. If I can make money without ripping anybody off, I'm gonna do it as long as I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm still that way. That's why I hustled my ass on out here to the motherland, enjoying what I'm enjoying. So she walked away. I said, "No, listen, check your computer. I let the insurance on the black Buick Skyhawk lapse because I used that to trade it in." See? So she saw black Buick lapsed insurance, not realizing that the black Buick that I now owned had insurance, but she didn't see that that was a Regal that I was driving and it was a Skyhawk. Human error. But I didn't rub it in her face. I didn't get angry. I even remember her name. How could I forget it? Tracy Monty, New York City Police Department, 103rd Precinct. Huh? Then all of a sudden, there's another officer, this real tall Puerto Rican guy, Officer Benedict, because she told me I can go. And as I tried to put it in gear, he taps, this is the wintertime, man, it's cold. He taps the window with his stick. "Where the F you think you're going?" He cussed me out, told me to get out of the car, told me to put my hands behind my back. I'm asking him, "Are you arresting me?" "Yes, I am, goddammit." And he slams my head in the top of the vehicle, trying to provoke me to do something to him. Make a long story short, other cops came. It looked like Christmas out there. 4 of them jumped on my back. They told me I walked with 4 of them on me. They got me to the back, punched me in the face for about 2 or 3 minutes. One guy, I remember what it's like to taste the knuckles of a white man's fist with the leather jacket that he had on. While being in the chokehold, that's killed people. Couldn't breathe, but I still breathed because I had a neck like a horse back then. They grabbing my nuts and trying to rip it off my body. And they have my hands and my thumbs pulled up to put the cuffs on me, but they kept yanking it up toward my head. I was face down in the back of the vehicle in the trunk. And all I could do was move my head slightly so that man's fist didn't go in my eye. He's at his feet were wide out where he can get power on the blows. Boom, boom. Like, what the hell? They wouldn't do that if they didn't have that badge and gun. So I know I can take an ass whipping from 11 people. So this is why one person doesn't scare me. What are you going to do? Punch me? I'll punch you back. But what does that do to your psyche? How was I viewed that way? Why? Because I'm supposed to be a drug dealer now because I have a brand new car? Couldn't I have been working? Couldn't I have been saving my money? Couldn't I have had a good credit? Couldn't I have been in a living condition where I didn't have to pay much rent? So this is why I just took disorderly conduct. Be good for a year and we'll let it slide. But the way they looked at me, the way those police officers looked at me, you would have thought I was the worst of the worst. And there was one black one that was there. And he was just a straight Tom. I'm looking at him like, how can you sit here and look they violate me this way? I didn't say that. But my eyes were shut closed by that time. You ever see a Rocky movie and see the eyes, or old boxer with the eyes swollen up? As they dug through my car looking for drugs. So I know what it's like to be violated. But if they had shot me that night, what would the newspapers say? They would have slanted my reputation. They would have slanted my character. Like I can't be pure in my intention, no matter what's going on around me. This is why I say the mainstream media and its deceptions, mainstream media deception at its best. You heard what that other man said that I played, and he don't look like me. And he's telling it for what it is. You use certain little minor transgressions to do what you have in your heart anyway. You got somebody that you want to beat down. And both of your children are playing. The ones you want to beat down, they live down the block. You want to beat that man down. So kids play. And your little daughter runs home crying. Brenda scratched me in my eye. So now here you are coming down the block with all this hell, trying to provoke something from something that happened smaller. And now you go beat the man down. You escalate it because that's what's in your heart. You see how it works? And again, I'm still speaking in a very coded way. That man said what it was. So for me, I don't buy into the so-called mainstream media. All I use them for are the illustrations that they will show. But I will get on blogs and talk shows from people in those areas who can tell me from the ground what I need to know. And still there'll be opposing forces. So you still can't just take one person's word for it, because it may be slanted. It will be slanted. And we who have no way of really finding out what's going on, it's so glossy and so official looking. Let me tell you something. Just because they have the fancy looking graphics and they have this nice table in front of them or this nice counter in front of them with the big letters, it makes it believable. We have people who do podcasts and YouTube videos who have the same thing, and we believe that hook, line, and sinker, even when 10, 12 years ago, they were diametrically opposed to everything that a black woman was all about. And I sit back, I'm like, I don't believe this. You delete all your videos and you come back new again because you're working with those people. And just like what they call sleeper cells that are supposed to be activated all over the world today on October 13th, right? That's what they say. Because guess what? This is Friday the 13th. Ain't it? Friday the 13th. That's funny. September 11th, Friday the 13th. Eclipse tomorrow. But those sleeper cells that they have, open borders that are supposed to raise hell. I guess these people in the media who you think are independent, they are also sleeper cells that will be activated at the command of those who pay them and allow them to have so-called successful platforms. Because when we come around and ask you to do what we need to be done, that's your payback to us, because you go where the money goes. You have no integrity. We don't care about that old scurv. We'll shadow ban him. We'll make it where his videos don't go out there. We'll have him teeter-totter in where he can't really speak. See? That doesn't bother me, because I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and there's different ways to say what you say. You go to LANCESCURV.com, I'll write what I want to say. What they going to do? They can make Google not have me come up in a search. See, there are little wars going on with thought, because thoughts are very powerful. They don't want you to get close to someone who they deem to be, or they won't call the person a revolutionary, but that's what they are. That's what they are. See? And they don't want you to really get down with that person because, okay, let me cut this off. Yeah, we had this Bluetooth thing. I have nothing else to share, to play, so I'm good. Let me just cut this off, this part of it off. I want to go down to the comments section of this particular video. And something was said, and this is not, you can go anywhere and watch anything you want. And it wasn't a black, platform, but black people are everywhere. You go anywhere in the world, you're going to see black people. You go to Iceland right now, you're going to find somebody black that's up there. I don't know what they're doing up there. I don't want to go to Iceland. You go to anywhere in the world, North Pole, South Pole, Alaska, go to anywhere. Black people in Israel. I'm quite sure there are black people over there in Palestine. I can't find the actual comment that I wanted to read off, and it stoked so many replies, thousands of replies on this particular video that has 158,000 views, and it was only put up 20 hours ago. 158,000 views, and it was only put up 20 hours ago. And you heard what the man said. If I was the one saying that as a black man, they would have knocked me off of YouTube with the quickness, like they tried to come after my website. So you got to say things in a coded way. But the comment that the one person made was how Malcolm X was brilliant. And I can't paraphrase him exactly, but to the most, and you've probably heard this comment before, where Malcolm X said that the media, the mainstream media, can make it where the oppressed is demonized and the oppressor is celebrated. Now, he did not say it that way. I'm not trying, but I don't have it to you can search it. Let me see if I can even search it quick, because I want to get it right. But it's true. And Malcolm X said this so many years ago, right? Let me see. Let me just do a quick search. Okay, what did Malcolm X say? Okay, here it is. I found it so quick. Malcolm X said this: the media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And that's power, because they control the minds of the masses. And that's a meme that's floating around on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and everywhere. But, we get our history most of the time. And most of our young folks, unfortunately, get their history from memes, which in that case is not bad. They're like little flashcards. But the powers that be stick in different things that pull your mind away. I'm going to say that quote again that Malcolm X said about the media. The media's the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And that's power, because they control the minds of the masses. Well, we know that earlier part, but he said this so many years ago. Could you imagine what Malcolm X would say about social media right now? Could you imagine what he would say about how we act on social media right now? How we've been degraded? And it's not about the civil rights situations that were going on, because, Malcolm X may have felt a different way about that. And there were others who were like, no, I'm not going to fight to go sit down on the toilet next to somebody who don't look like me, who don't like me. I'm not going to force my children to go to a school where the military has to escort them in. No, leave them alone. I don't want to be around them. Who wants to go to a party that they're not invited to? Who wants to hang out with people who don't like them? That'd be sick. Imagine me going, well, them people don't like you. They talk about you. They don't want you around. I don't want to be around you either. I'll make my own party. Because even me on my own by myself, I am my own party. People think I'm crazy because I'm laughing at my own jokes, walking down the street, thinking about stuff from years ago. Oh man, that was crazy, right? Yo, who he talking to? You need that to survive. Self-sufficiency, where you don't need. At this age, I'm going to sit there and want to push up myself around somebody else. But what would Malcolm X say? I should do a different video on that, because I'm going to wrap this down soon anyway. But what would he say if he could see our sisters? So, I'm not saying everybody, but if he can see how we're going on these thoughts. You know what thought means. If you don't know, it means thirsty hoe over there. She's a thought. She's thirsty. What do they mean by thirsty? Right? She's looking for money and attention and possibly didn't have a father. And now she's looking for that attention in various men. It doesn't always mean they didn't have a father. I'm not going to demonize those, because I know some sisters who've grown up without a father. They had supportive male energy around them, and they're doing just fine. Even some who didn't have the support, they're doing just fine. So don't get it twisted. I'm not throwing off on any faction of us, because most of us are coming out of some type of trauma. Most of us are coming out of some type of dysfunctional situation, large and small. I'm not saying it's large all the time, but it's there. There's no way you're going to have a white outfit on and wrestle with the pig in the mud by the side of the road and come out unstained and unscathed. You feel me? But that's the truth. What would Malcolm say now? Malcolm would be, he might have a heart attack. I wouldn't call that down. He lived healthy and clean. When they did the autopsy on him, they said that they never saw intestines, and they never saw a body so clean because of how he lived and how he thought. And while many of us will go to the gym and eat good, what kind of thoughts do we have? It's still poisoning us. Poison thoughts will kill you just like bad food. If you're right in your spirit and you have to eat something bad for a time, chances are they found that it won't affect you. Your mind and your thoughts have so much to do with it. How you live, what you project, what's in your heart. Your movements indicate what's going on in your heart and in your mind. Like I always say, you don't have to depend on somebody that you just met to tell you all about themselves. Young ladies will find a man that they fancy and they say, I'm interested in a relationship with this person, but I have to get to know them over time. Yeah, it takes time. Don't just go on face value, but you want to accelerate it. And the same with the fellas who find a woman who, or a lady that they're interested in. You want to find out real quick that you can make a decision if you don't want to be bothered with them? How do you do it? Well, they invite you over to their home. Don't sneak it. Just say, listen, let's not waste each other's time. This might be kind of a joke. Let's not waste each other's time. I want to know all about you, but baby, I'm going to tell you everything about me, even the things that don't sound good, and don't look good. I did some things, I had my little thought phase in life and maybe you heard about it. No, that's okay. I know we all have these things that we go through, these phases that we go through. But one thing I want to do to see if I want to move forward, let me see the history on your computer. And that would work, I would say, more so for the women going to see if this guy is legit. Now, we're all human. And like I said, ain't none of us perfect. But if you see near that computer a big bottle of lubrication, and you go down in the history and all you see is Pornhub and RedTube and BootyTube and XXX TittyTube, and then you know where his mind is at. Maybe he needed a little stress relief. But if you go down to the history and every single night, well, guess what? You're well built. What you think he's going to use you for? We know that's there. We both on both sides have these feelings and needs. It's a need, yes. But if it's a need that he can satisfy with just about anybody, he ain't paying no mind to you. So be real. What's in a person's mind indicates what's in their heart and how they live, no matter how much they dress it up. You go to get a used car, they got the polish and it's waxed and the rims and the tires. You already made up your mind to buy that vehicle and haven't even taken it for a test drive. Why do you think the used car owner always tells you, well, we have the car in the back and, give us a call 15 minutes before you get here so we can bring it out because the lot's packed. The lot ain't packed. They want you to call so they can go start it up first and let it sit there running for 10 minutes and they cut it off. So when you start it up, boom, like, woo, this thing is good. And if they want to blow out that first bit of black smoke out the exhaust because they ain't tuned it up and they didn't change the oil for a while. And then they go now to turn the radio on. Oh, look at the nice sound system. The previous owner spent so much money on this sound system. Is a sound system going to get you around town? You get a sound system in your living room. Well, yeah, I'm going to ride this sound system and it's going to take me around. Don't give a damn about the sound. You ain't there to listen to no music. You need to get around point A to point B on a limited budget. I need a vehicle. I don't care if it has a dent on the side. I don't care if there's a little crack in the rear passenger window. We'll fix that later on. Maybe. We forget what the purpose is. We forget what we're here for. We forget what we have to do with each other. But with lack of unity, how are we going to do it? Even with the lack of unity, our heads are in so many different spaces. We more confused than that dude who is a drag queen. I'm gonna get a thumbs down for that. Don't know what you want to be. Don't know what bathroom you want to go into. And you want to inflict this on the world. They have agents out here who slice and dice us up, who can say things that are so smooth with their pimp mentality and call you FBA. And now you fight against everybody who is from another country, who looks like you and has the same DNA and suffers the same way that you do. But because of these racist organizations who subsidize these organizations that popped up out of nowhere, you can be a controversial or you can be a smooth talking internet revolutionary and convince the gullible masses of us, the 85% of us who are damn stupid, to see through the smoke and mirrors and smoke screen and smoke bombs to blind you. I'm going to say it this way for anybody who comes in the comment section after this, and I'm going to leave after this. I got more videos to make. I got to eat something, and I got to meditate in nature. But any organization amongst us that throws off on anyone who looks like us and who is us, no matter where we come from, is divisive. But yet they want to unify with these people in a fight that's not even ours. They support this and they support that, but they don't support their own damn unity in their own community. When I say community, I don't mean just a street or a subdivision. The worldwide community of us, the most powerful people on the planet Earth, the original of the planet Earth. We're weakened down. You ever have somebody make lemonade for you? And we know sugar is one step away from being cocaine. Sugar's a drug. And they make this lemonade for you, and it's too much lemon and not enough sugar. And you wait for them to go out the room. You go in and get some sugar. You put 2 more scoops in there. You're like, okay, this is just about right. We're watered down to be effective to each other. You can run all the wires in your house perfectly when you build your home. But if it's not connected to the main power source that comes to your box on the side of your house, you'll never have any light. Notice the word I said, if it's not connected. So our minds are so screwed up, not connected, because I'm FBA, Foundational Black American, and I'm descendants of American descendants of slavery, ADOS, and I'm indigenous and you're not. Well, what you mean indigenous? We're all indigenous to the damn planet. What kind of weirdo games are we playing? It's such a time where we're ignored, but everybody else's war is out. Look at me hitting buttons. I'm over here getting animated, man, because we're so stupid. I don't care who don't like it. If it doesn't apply to you, then it doesn't apply to you. We're too damn stupid. Fighting everybody else's wars, and we don't even fight our own. This is so crazy. We are international people. We are the people of the earth, the original. Everybody who has what they have, they got it from us. And we're applauding them for being the ones who brought this to be, because they control the media. Don't you know they're trying to erase us physically and all out of thought? What's this guy's name? DeSantis? doesn't want Black history, African history in the books? What kind of mess is that? It's like me giving you a brand new technological electronic gadget, but throwing away the instructions. I can see it, but I don't know how to work this thing. So it's no good to me and it's no good to itself. But while that's going on, and we don't say a damn thing about that, because we have to get along to go. And the reason why we're scared of these other people who are front line in the news right now, right? They got unity. They got unity. Oh, I got Danina here on the phone. I'm gonna just tell her I'm gonna call her back. Danina, I'm on live right now, and I'm gonna call you right back. Do you want to say anything on the live real quick? Because we're still on for tonight, as far as I know. Yeah. Because I can hook you up and bring you on real quick where people can hear you. I'm getting ready to get off anyway. I've been on for an hour and 20 minutes just babbling about some things. Let me see if I can get you on. Just give me a second. Let me see if I can get you on so you can just kind of amp it up. And well, you need no amping up actually, but I just wanted to, since you called, to share that. Let me see if I can pair this particular thing. Okay, we're connected. Let me see if you can, if everybody can hear you right now, because as far as I'm concerned, you're connected. So in the chat room, let me know if you can hear Sister Danina. And this is just for a second, and we'll go on and do our own private phone call in a second. But I want you just to talk to everybody, because as far as I know, they can hear you. Can you hear Sister Danina in the chat room? Okay.
Hello,
they hear
everybody.
Yeah, they hear you. Talk.
Hello, everybody. I am coming back. I told y'all that I was going to do part 2 to the Anunnaki. I have it done. We will be recording tonight. It is going to be fire. It's going to be a lot of information as usual. It's going to be some laughs. So buckle up, get ready, snap your wigs back, because we're going on the roller coaster ride.
Yes. And let me just...
And I have missed y'all.
Oh, yeah, we miss you too. There's not a day that people don't text me, leave a comment on one of the shows or whatever. Yes, we're going to record it, but I'm going to try to also possibly do it live. But as you well know, when Sister Danina comes on, there's always some attack or there's always some interference. So it has to be recorded. At the core, it has to be recorded. So if those secondary attacks come, we can just abandon it and just keep the recording and then upload the total thing without any issues going on. Now, the other thing I was thinking about, Sister Danina, is actually leaving it as something on the conference line and allowing you to talk and keeping everybody muted, and then open up the lines if they want to participate and take that whole thing and upload it in a chunk with no interference. That's a possibility, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, yeah. I'm gonna call you in a little while.
So you want me to call? Okay.
Yeah.
So we are on for tonight.
Yes, we are.
And so I'll call you. Well, I'll wait until you call me.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you in a few minutes. I just want to wrap down this rant. And if you want to stay on, you can stay on. I'm not trying to kick you off. They just love hearing your voice because they know what you represent and what you bring. Just want to confirm that with them.
Yeah, and when I tell you, Lance, I like you with this show. I was amazed at what I was finding out that was lied. We were lied to about. I mean, literally everything about our reality and what they told us. It's all fucking lies. All of it. It's all fucking lies.
What you told me when we spoke the other day has me fired up. Just that little piece, it influenced me so much and opened up my thinking even more so. I'm not just amping it up, because when they hear you tonight, they know that you do not play and you're going to bring the real. And I'm just so happy to be a part of it. You know, I'm just happy to be the plate that brings the delicious.
Oh, and I have to tell y'all about my situation too, with the whole, you know, me being shelter and all that. And I'm not saying I'm not, you know, grateful for them helping me, because, you know, I was in a bad situation with old boy.
Yeah.
But the point is that shit is a soul trap too, because they basically, I done been in the shelter system, and they basically be raping the people that's homeless. That shit is crazy.
Exactly.
They wanted them to do they literally want them to do fucking a whole day's worth of fucking $300 a week, and they enslaving your ass like crazy. Taking trays, washing motherfucking floors, sweeping, like that shit is crazy. And I'm a whole goddamn chef, and now you have me doing all of this bullshit. Man, I had to cut that goddamn dude out. I cut his ass out. I couldn't take it. I had a 6-month program. Last I could only make it to 3 months. Like I got kicked out of this shit.
But listen, with the fire you got, I'm surprised you made it that long. Not for any fault of yours.
Well, yeah, because the only reason why I made it that long is because I was in that shelter, that Lewis Center, and I had to basically get a job there that they gave me, and I couldn't turn it down to only stay there for 3 months.
Right.
So you had to do something, because if you didn't do it, and then you know them motherfuckers will kick you out. These motherfuckers will kick you out. They supposed to be a whole shelter helping people to find somewhere to stay to end homelessness. They will kick your ass out before the 3 months. And do you know how much money these motherfuckers get for each person? They literally, the one in the staff I was told, me and her were real cool, and she gave me the whole breakdown of that shit. For every person that's in here, they get fucking how much is $650 a day, right?
What?
So if you times, they get $650 a day for each person that's in the shelter. So if you times that times 90, because you can only stay in there 90 days, right?
Right.
It comes out to $58,000 and $500. So for your 3 months stay, they getting $58,000 and $500 for you for 3 months, for your 3 months stay. And then when you time that shit times how many beds that they got in that program or that facility, that bitch come out to millions, because they got 70 beds in there.
Damn.
Yeah, some motherfuckers making a killing. And then the dude in there, he was stealing money, and this motherfucker rolling. How you gonna come to a shelter rolling up in Teslas and shit? Like, that shit is crazy. Yeah.
Dead giveaway.
You literally showboating in front of fucking homeless people.
You need to get that.
But I couldn't. It was so much bullshit with it, and just the lies that how they be sitting up here telling people that they helping them. They're not motherfucking helping them. All they doing is pulling energy from them.
That's right.
That's all they doing, and keeping the homeless, keeping the poor. Because guess what? It's just like you said in that video the other day. Most other people that's motherfucking rich and got top dollars, they'd be the motherfucking demons. They're the demons.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's all bullshit, all of it. And then they lie about the damn chakra system, because we don't have 7 chakras. We actually got 9.
They don't want you to know about the other 2.
No, they don't, because they want you to get everything so you could be stupid and thinking, and you want to say all of them. So before you say all of them, and the only way you can really do it is by cutting yourself off from humanity, because humanity is so fucking stupid.
You ain't lying. I see that more and more every day.
They stupid. They don't even listen to common sense. That's how stupid they are. They don't listen to common sense, because most of the stuff I say is common sense. I literally, that shit with that program, I was about to beat it.
You're breaking up, sweetheart. You're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but maybe you moved a little bit. I'm not sure, but something's up with the signal.
Yeah, I am moving.
Okay. No problem. Go.
But there was a lady who me and her got into it. Her name was Miss Didi. When I tell you this bitch was huge, this bitch was huge. When I tell you this bitch was huge, she was literally, and in Florida, they country as fuck here. It just is what it is, Lance. Compared to New York, they talk about New Yorkers, but when you come here, it's like motherfucking time then froze for us.
I'm telling you, you ain't lying. I've spoken
for real, because they country bumpkin as a motherfucker. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, me and her, we were cool in the beginning because she was the one that was telling me all of the information about how they be stealing from the homeless and stuff. And at first, me and her, we were real cool, but then she started talking shit because I told her that I don't believe in God. And I meant what I said. You're not going to make me believe in that.
Wow.
Lance, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
So she tells me that I don't like that. She called me a demon because I don't believe in God, right? And so one day when I came in the room, I was like, when I came into our dormitory, she looked at me and was like, Denny, I just want you to know tonight I'm with the shit. So I looked at her, I was like, bitch, I know I'm little and all that, but bitch, I don't like you can play with me. So I didn't say nothing to her that night, but you know how I am. I'm not letting that shit go. No. Bitch, I don't want you to be thinking that you about to run up on me like that. Oh no, bitch, I gotta have you. So the next day, because I had to go to work, in that program, it wasn't a real job, it's a program. Because I had a program for 6 months. But I could only say, and I'm going to explain that shit because there's a bunch of laughs and that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, I said, Miss Didi, I said, listen, does it fucking look like you can play with me? Because, yeah, I know I'm little and all that, but, bitch, you don't hear how loud my motherfucking mouth is, and you see how fast I am with every motherfucking thing, bitch, do it look like you can play with me? So she was like, she said, well, I said what I said a lot of the time. You come here, everybody, if they believe it. I was a bitch. I was like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about none of that. The point is, bitch, you're ignorant, you're stupid, because you believe in some shit that you cannot prove. You cannot prove none of that, and God is so good for you. Bitch, why is everybody homeless? Why we homeless here? And why y'all feeding us motherfucking little pizza? With that hard cardboard ass pizza, and y'all get all that money for us, and this is what y'all feeding us. And they was eating that shit damn near 3 days a week, and it had got so bad, Lance, that they gave the people a motherfucking slice of Little Caesar's pizza for dinner. A slice.
What?
Not 2, not 3, a slice. It got that bad. Yes.
I'm glad you.
I wanted the motherfucking.
I'm glad you.
I wanted to call the news station. I wanted to call the news station on there. I couldn't believe the shit. It got so bad. And then when they get donations and shit, they'll put the donations in the closet and and they won't give it to the fucking residents. And I was the one, when I came there, I had got everybody an ice machine because I had basically did a petition. And I did a grievance, and I had everybody on the campus to sign and shit. Because, it's hot as fuck in Florida. How you sit up here and got a whole running a shelter facility, and you don't have those people a fucking ice machine?
Slave hot. Start thinking Negro spirituals.
And they getting thousands of dollars. And they literally getting thousands of dollars. After I got them that ice machine, they wanted me to fuck up out of there. They like, bitch, because you getting us to spend motherfucking money we don't want to spend for these bums, bitch, you got to go. So I already knew I wasn't gonna stay there long because after I had got them to get that ice, machine, because I'm making them spend money that they ain't supposed or that they don't want to spend, rather. So when I saw Miss getting back to the Miss Didi thing, I had to go to the program that day at the culinary program. So when I came back, I saw her on it was a Friday. And mind you, Lance, this bitch is over 6 feet tall. And you know how they are built here. These bitches be big. So with me, you know, I'm 5'7" and I'm small from petite. So I ran up on her, Lance. I was so motherfucking evil, and I talked with my eyes. So you be knowing I be dead ass serious because my eyes are motherfucking flare up.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk with my hands all the time, but it's mainly my eyes.
Right.
So I saw her, I ran up on her. I said, Miss Didi, I said, bitch, what the fuck do you think this is? Do you think I'm motherfucking here to play with you, ho? So she was looking at me. She was like, she's saying, Denia, you can't come at me like that. I said, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I will smack the shit out you, bitch.
Oh.
Bitch, don't play with me. So she called security. I said, what the fuck you calling security for as big as your motherfucking ass and talking all that shit to me? You thought I'm gonna let you get away with that? Honey, when I tell you she called security on me, I saw her, I said, you big drag queen looking bitch, who the fuck did you talking to? She had on these motherfucking lashes, honey. But I tell you, them bitches were about 5 feet long. Literally, her goddamn lashes was literally 5 feet long. If that bitch wasn't rooted to the ground by gravity, that bitch would have flew away long ago.
Oh man.
So when she called security on me, I was like, I said, and what you think you here for? It was this guy, Mr. Sal. He says, you can't be doing that on campus. You can't be talking and stuff like that. I said, but I did. The fuck wrong with you? I'm not gonna let that bitch talk to me like that. I don't care if y'all doing me a service or not. Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for us, none of this shit would be possible. The Lewis Center would have been shut down long ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. But I have to tell y'all about that shit at that fucking I ain't gonna give up their name, but people who from Florida, they know exactly who it is when I give out the initials of this place.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna give it out because they still helping me now.
Right.
But
right.
honey, when I tell you they were ready to get rid of my motherfucking ass, when I tell you, Lance, some motherfuckers wanted to get rid of me long ago, because you know when you talk up and you don't let a bitch talk to you crazy, they don't want you. They don't want you there.
Yeah, because you're not subservient. Exactly.
Right. And you're gonna speak up for yourself, and you're not gonna let a bitch treat you any type of way.
That's right.
And then I've been noticing, so I don't know if the Floridians notice this, but honey, you could be outside for motherfucking 5 minutes, some motherfucking mosquitoes will eat your ass alive.
Oh, tell me about it. Let me tell you something.
Them bitches.
Let me tell you something. You come out here and you go up in the mountains in certain parts, they waiting for you at the door. Mosquitoes?
Ooh.
You what? How do you think I got malaria when I came out here the first time? I got a thing about mosquitoes.
Oh my goodness,
What?
They that bad.
Let me tell you something. Mrs. Scurv will go out in the backyard in the daytime because you know mosquitoes are scared of dragonflies and mosquitoes don't really come out.
That light.
Yeah, they're scared of the light. Here?
And they scared of the sun. They don't really come out in the sun. They don't fuck with you in that sun like that.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Baby,
Let me tell you something different. Let me tell you something different. She'll go out there like right now it's 12:38. She might go out there 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, whatever. Be out there all day. She'll put on long, not just tights, but sweats or something, socks, shoes, long sleeve stuff, a hat, and put some of the repellent around her neck. They don't even mess with the neck. They'll jump on her pants or on her, and she's hearing me saying this. She ain't saying, "Lance, you lying." No, I'm telling the truth. If she wasn't in the kitchen, I would say, "Come over here and tell it."
Bite right through the
They
clothes.
bite right in the daytime. They're not afraid. They out here in the daytime. But really, what you have to worry about with the malaria and stuff, which not every mosquito has malaria, is the nocturnal females, the female species, and the ones that come in the night.
The only ones that bite.
Right. So, but they'll get you in the daytime. Here, they ain't afraid of nothing. And then you got this thing that I don't know the exact name for it, but she calls it the bat. What you call this thing? A batlash or batlish or what? Just say the name. Batlash.
What?
It's a bug that jumps on you quick. It's a little teeny bug, maybe like about 3 millimeters.
You talking about bed bug?
No, it's not a bed bug. It's something that flies around out and whatever. And it would, by the time it bites you, it got all in you and you itching for the rest of the day. Yeah, they got something. This is Africa. See, look, I see things. I don't even know what the name is. I got to take pictures of it. Look like little flying humans, and we got eyes and what? They got.
Oh my goodness!
They got things that they have not even recorded yet. If you go to certain parts, they got just like with the Brazilian rainforest and places like that, places out here in the motherland. You go out in the country and you're like, what is that? What is that? What is?
Oh my goodness. So they got species of motherfucking bugs that they ain't recorded yet.
Right. They're always finding something. They go, we never saw this one before. When I first came out here and went up in the Volta region.
But I'm going to tell you something, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the motherfucking metaphysical breakdown of that.
Mm-hmm.
Them fucking bugs that be biting you, them motherfuckers are negative energy.
Of course they are.
That's why they have to feed off it.
This scurv call them
They're
demons all the
negative
time.
energy.
Yeah,
but they are. They fucking hunt you down.
they
They're
do.
the only fucking bugs that they hunt you down. Them motherfuckers hunt you down.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something else. You know what a crab, of course you know what a crab looks like. I'm just saying as a figure of speech. You know what a crab looks like. It's like, say for example, a crab that's like, it's got a body where it might be 6 inches across, looking like a little spaceship. Then it got the claws, right? Let me tell you, we're still doing construction on different levels in this home, right? I went downstairs. You know, maybe the window was cracked, or when the door was open, the guys are working, things come in. You better watch them. When you open the door, you better close the bad boy, even if it's in the daytime. Because I walked down the steps. Lucky the light was on. I saw a spider that had, I thought it was a crab on the wall, a crab that the full body, round, and these long legs that made it where it looked like it was about maybe 8 inches across if you counted the legs, but the body was 5 or 6 inches solid.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was like, and these things look at you. So I took my time and walked back up the steps, and I got the broom. I said, man, this broom ain't enough. I got to get a hammer or something, but I don't want to get that close to it. So I went down with the broom, and I said, I'm going to have to take a swing where I don't miss. The minute I moved the broom, the minute I moved, it jumped down and ran toward me. Now,
Oh yeah, because they want this.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that the psychological tactics of this thing, right? It didn't run away. It ran at me. And so I'm used to dudes in the jail, in the prison, in the street. I can handle that. But the little boy in me was like, oh, shit. So I hit it, and luckily, I caught it. And guts spilled out all on the walls. And the thing was still crawling, coming my way. I stomped it. So, yeah. So you got things, it ain't no normal stuff out. Well, it is normal for here, right? But it's not. I'm gonna tell you another one. The bats. The bats, they don't run from you. They don't dive bomb you, but I'm gonna do a video off the middle balcony. We got a bunch of papaya trees that are growing up and have papaya on it that we pick and we eat every day. And we got to pick down the ripe ones before the bats get it. Because at night, and I did a recording yesterday, and you could hear them. They're rats with tails. But at nighttime, they come out. and they go on the papaya tree, and when you sit there at the balcony, you're watching them. Then another one comes, and then they fight, and they fly off. When the owl comes around, ooh, 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 ain't no bats because the owl looks to eat the bat. So I'm watching all this nature, yeah, but they ain't bothering me. I just don't want to be near them. And then I went out. Might have been like about 3 o'clock in the morning. I just went out just to go out. I put on my long sleeve, everything. Sometimes I like walking around in the yard, not the yard deep. I ain't going back there at nighttime because you got snakes out there, right? You don't see them, but they're out there. I went down to the side, walking down the side, and all of a sudden, this is what I heard in the tree. Something was in the tree that was flapping its wings so big. I was like, yo, that thing got to be huge. There's a bird that they call, what's the name of it, where the wingspan can almost be 6 feet across. I know that that's what it was. I kindly turned around. You know when you get scared, every part of you tenses up? Well, I'm going to tell a dirty joke right now. If there was a diamond wedged in my anus, I would have chopped that diamond in half. I was so scared when I was getting out of there. I was like, I'm out of here. And I locked the door, you know, but I had a whole ring full of keys. You know, sometimes you never get the first key. Not only did I grab the red key at first, I slid it in without it hitting the side and opened that bad boy, turned around and got in that house. I'm like, yo, I am not coming out here this time of night. This ain't Florida, you know, but Florida has its fair share of stuff out there, you know.
You damn sure do it. Trust me, you come outside of this motherfucking out of your apartment or your home, honey, by the time you get out there, within 5 minutes, some bitches swarming around you.
Bitch you up.
I'm like, that, then you gonna sit here and tell me as a spirit, they want you to believe that you are fucking human and something is feeding off you like that.
See?
And you're supposed to accept that shit and that's reality. Hell motherfucking no. Because guess what? I don't want nothing biting me and paining me and giving me no damn diseases and taking anything that belongs to me. I don't want to take in my damn blood. It's mine.
That's right. There's a reason why they do that.
Like, yeah, of course they gotta feed. And the thing about the females, if they don't feed at a certain time, they die. So they're that negative and low vibrating energy. They have to constantly feed just to stay alive.
And when your energy, when your energy is vibrating high, your blood is richer to them. You see what I mean?
Right. It's a good feed from them because it's a lot of energy that they getting just from that energy that's vibrating high. They like to attack those ones. They don't attack the low vibrating energy because it ain't no sustenance from them. There's nothing there.
That's right.
It's just a hollow energy, if that makes sense. It's the energy with no light, with no core. So there's really no essence that they can feed from.
That's right.
And that's why they do that shit. And that's why I said to myself, like, I don't understand. Like, I got a friend. Like, she cool and all, but she just, I don't know what her problem is. Cause like, she be, you know, me and her, we met in the shelter and stuff, and she could be cool. But it's just like, girl, you keep sitting up here trying to make all of these plans for future and all of this shit, but you don't see this reality breaking down.
Right.
The wars, the fucking natural disasters, this shit is breaking down. Bitch, how long you think you got to stay here? And like, I don't be understanding what they be thinking. This shit is right in front of your face. Everybody in this reality that we call Earth, everything dies, everything rots, everything decays.
Exactly.
So at some point, you're going to die. You're going to experience that death. And when you experience that death, if you are unaware of yourself, it's going to fuck you up.
Yeah, we were speaking about that.
Exactly. He knew. That's why I was so. Lance, you remember when I was with my husband, when I was still staying with him, because we were doing those shows then.
Mm-hmm.
You remember I was with my husband, and I used to tell y'all all the time. You could hear this motherfucker in the background.
Yep.
You didn't heard him. You didn't talk to him, Lance. That one time when I was asking you about how to get the we were trying to do something technical,
Right?
And you done heard him talk. This motherfucker be so professional. And he's so technologically savvy. This bitch can basically fix computers and shit from nothing.
Right.
But this motherfucker would go and tell me, "Oh, humanity is so fucking stupid." He used to call them monkeys, and I used to be so motherfucking agitated at him because it's just like, how you sit here and you know all this information, you passed it to me, you brought me all of the books to know the information, and then every time when I asked him a question, he had an answer for it, and it was basically saying the same thing the book said. So you know he know about this shit. You remember I told you that shit when he was performing oral sex on me that one time, and I saw that bitch get a whole motherfucking face clip, and his face was glowing.
Your energy.
No, bro. You gotta be cut off because something ain't right. Cause bitch, you didn't look like that yesterday.
No, but what I'm saying is that he's feeding off your energy.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
And when I woke up to it, he didn't want the thing with me and his relationship is weird because when I tell other spirits this shit, they be looking at me like I'm crazy. But we didn't break up or get divorced because we had problems in the relationship. It was because I had a spiritual awakening and my soul did not want me to be around him because it knew he was feeding on me.
Right.
Then, you know how I always tell y'all about how I be being spiritually attacked? Do you know that shit ain't stopped yet? It has not stopped yet. But I've gotten so fucking immune to that shit.
Right.
I can basically tune a lot of that shit out. It don't bother me as much as it used to.
Right. Understood.
Because the more and more you keep doing it, the more you build up an immunity to it. So these motherfuckers are behind the fucking veil, feeding off energies, and there's a lot of people starting to talk about this shit. It's one guy called Darius. He like a mixed guy. He talking about this shit. It's even white men, even the goddamn white men starting to speak about this shit and telling people, you need to get up out of here because you're being fed on, and this is not reality. That there are numerous realities and parallel worlds that you have to get to outside of this shit. Right. While you spending all that energy here, you could be having a real experience, something that is close to your vibratory rate and frequency. You could be experiencing that, but instead of you experiencing that, you basically experiencing this fucking torture ass reality, hell, the underworld, Sheol. You experiencing this shit instead of experiencing the reality that is gonna suit you and that's gonna help you grow mentally. So that's the only way you can feed the soul.
Yeah.
So when I tell you the information that I'm going over tonight, everybody needs to hear this shit because they don't tell you none of this shit. They're not going to tell you none of it, and they know most motherfuckers will not read, and they know they won't research.
Exactly.
I got a book. I got a thick-ass book, Lance, called, what is this book called? It's called Alien Parasites, the 40 Gnostic Truths.
Wow.
When I tell you that every motherfucking page turner in there is motherfucking loads of information, and I'm talking about they straight up blunt with it in the book telling you everything.
Straight up.
It's literally telling, and then how can these people make this up? How can they make it up? Because you can't get something from nothing. So who is making this shit up? Why they selling books telling you everything that I'm saying, but it's not real? Ain't nobody motherfucking imagination that good.
That's right.
Nobody's imagination is good. And like I keep telling them, you don't have that much time to be here because at some point this shit going to end. When the high vibrating ones leave because they this big ass battery to the matrix, this shit is over with.
Right. Let me tell you something.
They up here doing what?
Look,
Go ahead.
It's an observation of mine. And I don't know if any people are aware of this, right? They don't really push it out there and let you know what it is. Okay, you know how we can be trapped in that mindset of lust, anger, you know, jealousy, whatever, but on the lust level and an evil level. Let me talk about the lust level first. You know, they're creating, you know how sometimes you go on Instagram and you go on these different social media platforms and they have a woman who's in a bathing suit, just like the old Jet magazine where you're in the centerfold. And, you know, she might have been really sexy and stuff, but, you know, say, Lester here is a student at Virginia State and she likes to pursue this. She loves cooking and she hopes to have a career and whatever. And you see this dope body in a bikini, right? Okay, so the guys are looking at her, but it's more respecting, like, wow, she's sexy, but she's of substance, right? So this is what they have now. They have these pictures of women that are not real. They're not real. And you know that not Photoshop, but they're created by AI. AI created. And it may not be something extremely like lewd, but you notice that this woman has a dope body and a pretty face. And it's like something about it, it pulls you. So like, I'm looking like this person. Because if this person was walking around in real life, it would have been had some modeling contracts. It's AI created. Now, here's another one. I Google a lot of things for my banners. I'm a thief, I admit. I steal pictures so I can put it up on the banner. If I'm doing a story on Kanye West, what you think I'm gonna call him up and be like, yo, send me, I'm gonna pay you money? No, we steal the pictures. It's harder to do that and there's ways to do it. But when I create my banners, I throw it up that way. And I look at the best and resize it and what's the best one that had the most effect and whatever. I have my style of doing my banners. So I go on there and I did a little quick 10-minute thing, which I'm going to probably do 5 or 6 of them before later on. It says, don't share everything with anyone you might be educating an enemy. So I wanted to get some demonic faces. So I searched for demon faces, demonic this and and I pulled up these things that really look fearsome. And it was AI created. So what does AI know about us? We fed into the social media so much. We've given so much of ourselves that they can flip back a woman that looks so good to you or a man that doesn't exist. So when they're making these demon faces, I don't think that it's something that is out of the imagination of something called artificial intelligence. With all the things that are going on right now and all these demons that are running across the face of the earth, and we're giving up our energy to social media, we're praying to it with our head down, looking at our phones, and it's not by chance, it's by design. What does AI know that we don't know when they show us these demonic faces? Just like when you look in Hollywood and they have all of this stuff and whatever, and it's not far from the truth. Who are they contacting? We know that these people are into the occult in different ways to rule our minds and whatever. It's just amazing what's happening. We've given up our energy. We've given up our souls for these people. They think it's just Hollywood celebrities. Well, they sold their soul for fame. Listen, we give so much energy to these things and it's sucking it up. And when it spits back stuff like that. Yeah, go ahead.
But Lance, you got to understand too. The thing is with social media, all of the websites, the TikTok, the fucking Instagram, the Facebook, all of that information, all of the search engines, your computer records all of that.
Yes.
So all of that shit is being sent to a mainframe and a database.
There you go.
And they have motherfucking, they got everything fucking recorded.
Yep.
And every time when you go and do a search, you will go somewhere else. Let's say you go to YouTube. Let's say I done searched let's say I done got perfume and I've been looking at certain perfume. You can go to YouTube and then it'll have a whole bunch of fucking recommendations of the perfume you looked up and you like, it's a whole motherfucking other site. How you getting this fucking information?
Yep.
But it's because it records everything in the mainframe, and every time when you hit a certain website, that shit got your VPN locked.
Yep.
And it just feeds you back the information that you put in.
That's right.
To keep you invested in the system and keep you interacting with it, with the mainframe.
That's right.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yep.
So they basically, so when they say that they feed in AI and they feed in the demonic, they are. Stop. That most motherfuckers can't sit with themselves. And that's the truth. How some of these motherfuckers that meditate for an hour, they couldn't do it. If you had the masses of these people meditating for 1 hour a day and they all did this shit around the same time, you would see this whole motherfucking reality black out.
Yep. That's how powerful
the whole picture black out.
Well, the mind is a powerful
because
thing.
all of the energy.
Yeah. I know when I focus on something,
the only thing that you got.
I'm zoned out and things come out of that. You know what I mean? I've learned that from real young. The mind is very powerful. If they can get to your mind and redirect where your thoughts are, you know, good. That's why isolation for me is so good. I come out and do what I do, and I go right on back into a perpetual state of meditation. I am not bothered by the things that, and I'm not bothered by nobody. I can deal with it, but I don't have to dedicate the energy to the chit chat and gossip and shady people and secret profiles to come peep at you and all this weird social media stuff. I'm away from that. And if I detect it, bang, you're gone. So as I eat a meal in a little while, I'm just gonna look over the mountains, feel the breeze, and let the thoughts and downloads come to me without the yip yap and this noise that attacks the mind and takes you, because you know you can be confused walking around thinking you're gonna get something done. I'm gonna do this today, and you look around, the sun's going down because you done got caught up. Most of us get up in the morning and grab that phone and start scrolling, looking at somebody else's life, looking at getting mad at people you don't even know, getting jealous of people you don't even know, and they can't put the work in because their mind. And not only that, then they're gonna want to go get high. They want to go get a drink. They're gonna want to go masturbate because they seen it's crazy. I want to get look. The other day, I took a walk into town and looked over the mountains. I just walked, and it was beautiful, and I was at peace. And now I'm getting a bit of this perpetual peace. I'm a New York City guy, 38 and a half years in. Done did it all, seen it all. No drugs, no crime, but seen it all. I don't crave any of that. When it's time for me to go into town, into Accra, which is like a version of the little New York City in its own way in the major parts, I get sick almost. I don't want to go down there. I go down and I'm out. I want to come back to where I am. It's a beautiful thing and a big change for me. And I can see things I didn't see before. I can see the intentions of people that had me fooled. Even in the chat rooms, you can see the purpose. Go ahead. What you were saying?
You can't get no solace when you are interacting with the mainframe of this reality. There is no solace. There is no peace. There's no bliss. There's no nirvana. You cannot get no peace. And any peace that happiness that you get is going to be temporary.
Yes.
Because you got to understand the reality is ran off no negative frequency. They have to get you on a negative frequency, because if they don't, you'll disrupt the reality. And you got to understand this shit is ran through vibrations. It ain't like it's nothing really physical.
Right.
I keep trying to tell motherfuckers all the time. You keep sitting up here talking about it's Earth and all this shit. Bitch, why ain't, since you believe in Earth and all this dumbass solar system shit, and its comments and all of that shit out there, bitch, why ain't one take Earth away? Earth would have been battered a long time ago. Could you imagine it's fucking free-flowing rock out there and they comments and they traveling in space? You actually think Earth would have been here? That shit would have been exploded by a comet hitting this bitch long ago. But because there is no motherfucking comments and it's just energy vibrating, that's why you ain't experienced it. You can't prove that it's physicality here, because you can't see no planet. Even if you take a fucking plane and you going somewhere, let's say you going to Africa, and we take a plane to Africa, why the fuck we can't see Mercury, Venus, and Mars while we in the motherfucking sky, or see big ass Jupiter?
Right,
you can't see none of that shit. And you should be able to see that if you up in the fucking sky. You can't see, if you can't see the other three, you supposed to at least see Jupiter since it's the biggest goddamn planet in the solar system.
Right.
Why you can't see it? You can't even see a pinch of that shit because they're not a physical place. It's realms of existence. It's planes of existence. They're thought form. That's why you can't see it, because you have to be on a certain particular frequency to get into that reality. The cosmos is just like a web browser. If you don't change your frequency, you're going to stay right here. You have to change your frequency. And by changing your frequency is by changing your belief system and your thought, because your thoughts create energy and it creates a particular vibration. And as long as you stay on that vibration, you're not going to get up out of here, because they want you to do that because you keep feeding the reality. You can't get out of here if you don't change your vibration. And they don't understand that shit. They just be looking at me like, no, bitch, I'm not crazy. You can't make up none of this shit. Don't you think that I wish that a lot of the stuff that I found out, I wish it wasn't true? Because it wouldn't be hard for me to get up out of that shit. I feel sorry every day, Lance. You have no idea. With all of the information that I know, and I can see this shit play out when I see the reality. I can see it play out all the time. I be so heart-struck because I know the energies and the spirits don't know what the fuck is going on. They are completely unaware of their surroundings and they're unaware of what's happening to them. But all the while, they still complaining. I'm tired of going to work. I'm tired of experiencing this. I'm unhappy. But you don't want to listen to when somebody gives you the light. You don't want to fucking listen, because that's the only way you're going to stop the shit. I've been noticing that, like it was probably about 3 days ago when I was meditating. I had meditated for a good 2 hours. I literally could see, there's a guy on YouTube. Remember that guy I was telling you about, his name is All Is God.
Yeah.
And he got all of those videos. He talk about the spiritual realm, and I had told everybody about this numerous times. But he's saying something when he says, when you do disconnect and when the soul gets tired and it disconnects, you experience, and when you get ready to ascend, you experience nirvana and eternal bliss. And he's saying that the soul travels in blazing effulgence. I experienced that shit the other night.
Wow.
I literally experienced that shit the other night, because you can see the soul traveling. Because you know when you meditate, if you're doing it properly, soul and spirit will disconnect, so where the body is not functioning no more, and you just experience. You can see different lights. You can feel the soul traveling because it's not with the body anymore. It has a etheric cord. But the cord be stretching, and you can feel the soul trying to leave. Because you still connected to it. I'm telling you, you could literally feel and see the soul trying to leave, because you'll see different light patterns and shit that spoke of flying around you. Or it's almost like your spirit is traveling in a tunnel of. You can literally experience this shit through meditation, and you're really supposed to hold your consciousness. They call it in the seat of the soul, the pineal gland, the ajna chakra. You're really supposed to hold your consciousness there when you meditate, because they said in the emerald green tablets that if you want to keep your memory, the only way you can really do it when you need to detach from the body is by focusing your consciousness in the seat of the soul, which is the ajna chakra, the pineal gland. And if you focus it anywhere else, because your lower chakra is your lower nature, the Muladhara chakra, the Swadhisthana chakra, the Manipura chakra, those are the low planes of existence, and they're the low thought form. That's your lower nature, the shadow side of self. But you have to get to the Anahata chakra, which is the heart chakra. That's the bridge to the higher chakra. And you believe in this physical shit, lower nature. You in your chakras, because most people in physical shit, you have not attained enlightenment, Christos mind and Christ consciousness to pass into the higher chakra to be able to get the fuck up out of here. Because you have to cut all of your attachments off. You can't have no attachments when you leave, none, because that'll bring you back just like a fucking goddamn frequency. You know how sometimes when you be somewhere and they play a loud ass disturbing frequency, and it'll be a loud ass noise, maybe something like and it'll just disturb you to the point where you be distracted. That's basically what is happening. Because you so focused on the lower nature and you thinking that the material realm and plane of existence really exists, and that you trapped and you can't go nowhere, and this is all that there is, you will be stuck here. So when somebody comes to you like me and they have light codes and information that's telling you that you are not that body and that you have to, it's like a disturbing frequency that is coming into their electromagnetic field. Them crazy. That's why they be acting disgusted. They be getting attitudes and shit when you tell them, because you're really disturbing their frequency with that shit. Even though it's the truth, you're disturbing their frequency because they don't believe in nothing else besides the material, because they caught up in a lower chakra. They don't call that shit the root chakra for nothing. And I'm gonna tell you. Well, I'm gonna save it for the show, because I don't want to get it breakdown away. Right. These energy points and these chakras are real, because they even speak about the chakra system in a lot of the animes. They constantly talk about the chakra. So they real energy centers because they're highly active. They're active every day. I'm using my chakra system right now talking to you. I'm using the Vishuddha chakra, the throat chakra. Right. It's an energy center. That's why it comes out as language, but it's really just a vibratory rate that you're experiencing. But because we were told that we speak these different languages that in truth don't, this is just vibratory rate. That's it. And they all on the low frequency. Because look how the reality was created. So if you can't get past that and you can't change your thoughts, change your mindset to something higher, to understand the energy, vibration, and frequency, you're going to stay right here and you're not going to see anything but the lower nature of this fucking reality, the hell. And that energy that y'all debate off is the chief fucking archon. That bitch is running all of this shit. And that motherfucker knows that the minute people wake up, that bitch is dead. Because it has no energy and it has to feed off lower frequencies. So every time when you're angry, every time when you upset, every time when you curse and you use the English language, you feeding it because it created it. Because guess what? I didn't know nothing about no goddamn James language and all that stupid shit when I remember myself in the darkness. I won't speak in no fucking language. We mental beings. We don't even have to talk.
Exactly. I realize that.
Yeah, because you can sit up there and think of somebody, and you could be using telepathy and don't even know it.
They call you.
And the person will call you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
So you didn't send out a mental frequency in the void. And because you know this particular energy, the energy is so fucking what you send out, it attracts that energy to you without you even being aware of it. That's how powerful we are. When I was looking and I saw my spirit traveling and I saw the light, it's almost like I was traveling through a light tunnel. I was in my consciousness, I was like, we are truly special beings. And here we sitting up here thinking that we are funky ass body that has shit and piss in it that stinks.
For real.
Like, I just can't get over that. Like, that shit is crazy to me. We are a whole eternal being, and we can go anywhere in the cosmos and have any fucking experience. The soul doesn't die if you don't want it to die. Because you got to change your thoughts and change your mindset in order for your soul not to be dense Because if you know anything about density, we know that that kills the soul. That's why they don't say that we like beings for nothing. The key term is light. You have to be lightweight. So all of these thoughts and all of these downloads and all these different programs that you download in your consciousness, it makes your consciousness heavier. The heavier it gets, the more it stays in its reality, the more you weigh down, you can't travel. You can't go to another realm thinking that you Daniel and thinking you got a girlfriend. Oh, I'm Daniel. I got to shit. I got to pee. I got to eat. You can't go nowhere like that. You're going to stay right here.
That's right.
So I be trying to tell them, like, stop thinking that you this funky ass body because the body is rot. It's gonna rot. You can't stop. It rots every day. And if you want to test it, all you got to do is not wash your ass for about 4 days and don't let bitch gonna smell like death.
You ain't lying.
So why would you want this for? Why would you want to think that you something that smells that bad? Like, I don't be getting it. That shit is weird to me. It's weird. Because I wouldn't want to think that I'm something that rots. This shit is gonna rot. It rots a little bit every day. And then you have to constantly feed it. Why you gotta constantly feed this shit? And in order for you to stay here, you gotta eat something else that is a living organism here too, in order for you to be rooted here. Why I gotta kill something just to stay here, just to be so-called alive? Then you really not alive, and you have to feed off something else. Mm. I mean, it's just common sense. If I have to go and kill this animal is a living organism just like me. Why do I have to kill it and then consume its flesh just to be alive? If I'm alive, I shouldn't have to do that. I need everybody to think about that for just a second. If you alive, why do you have to feed off of something else that is a living organism like you, but you got to kill it and eat its flesh in order for you to be alive? That makes no sense. Because you were never really alive because you have to feed off of something else.
Right.
Being alive, you don't need none of that. It just is. And most have not become, because even the white guy said it. I literally downloaded this guy information and his video because that shit was 20 minutes, but it was so fucking powerful. Because I was listening to him, I was like, this man is saying the same fucking thing that I be saying. And you can't say, oh, because I'm color or I'm black. Nah, this man is a whole white man, and he basically saying the same shit I said. Mm-hmm. So why do people say, oh, you lying? None of that could be true. Okay, so why is different people talking about it? Why are different people able to have gifts when they come here and they're able to experience out-of-body experiences and astral project at all times and pierce the veil in other realms of existence? Why are they able to do that?
That's telling you right there.
Right. They're able to do it because their mindset is not stuck on being a human, and they're constantly in meditative state, and they're constantly connected to their higher self. Otherwise, you'll never experience that shit. And when you die, when the lights get cut off and reality is not around you no more, the only thing that you're going to experience is fear. Because your ass going to be vibrating crazy and erratic in the void, and you're going to be trying to figure out why I don't have no body, why I'm seeing darkness, why is there no other people around me? Yeah. Your consciousness is going to be thinking of that shit because you can't get no food, you can't get that shot of dopamine by interacting with another entity, with a body. You can't get that shit no more. Right. So what state is your consciousness going to be in when you no longer see that anymore?
Well, let me tell you, I had that happen on a lower level when I took a van coming up here, right? We're up in the mountains. I forgot that this was an express van. It couldn't stop on the road where my house is down the road. This is nighttime, pitch black, no lights, up in the mountains, trees covering over the road, small little narrow road, but it's 2 lanes, fog going on. They took me an extra 15 miles down the road. Couldn't stop. I was mad, but then I realized what it was. So there was a van on the other side going back, and it wasn't express. I hopped on it. I didn't realize how far down the road. Now, this is night, pitch black now. I went up about a mile and thought the sign that was by my entrance was my entrance. So I said, hey, let me off right here. So I got off. I took my grocery bags. I had 2 heavy bags of groceries, but it was reinforced bags that wouldn't rip. I got off. The van pulled off. I started screaming at the van because I realized that wasn't my stop. Now, this is a mountain road way up. We're way up. It's like a skyscraper with World Trade Center. We're high up in the air. There's nothing. There was fog that I couldn't see, and there were trees over and nothing. No streetlights, nothing. So when you said that about freaking out, that I still had my body, but I had my eyes open so much I could not see a thing. My eyes were trying to refocus at the darkness around me, in front of me. I knew there was a road below my feet, and I still every now and then had to make sure that I wasn't walking off the road to fall in the bushes where they had the snakes and different things. So I had a bit of that freak out sensation, scary guy, but that would startle anybody. And I had to walk about 15 miles down this road, up and down in the mountains where there was no lights, and it was only until my legs were cramping. I had to stop. I had to sit down on the ground. Every now and then, every 10 minutes, a car may go by me. They ain't going to pick me up. And when I saw the light of the car go off and swallowed up into the fog, I'm like, man, this is what it's got to be like in certain areas of spirituality when you make a transition. And I had to deal with that. There was an inner panic. I was like, I'm tired. I don't know how far I got to go. I got these groceries, man. I should just leave them on the side of the road and just walk. Legs were cramping. And I just put my head down and took baby steps for a couple of hours. And I looked up, and there was a clearing. I saw on the other side of the mountains, and I saw where I was close by to where my road was. It was so foggy. And I couldn't believe the experience that I had. And I couldn't help but think of the spiritual aspects of that. It was a dark road. Yeah, we understand. But I ain't never seen no dark road like that in America. And I've been to all parts of the country. So that was a precursor. That was a prelude to me, preparing me to be aware of certain things so that when that time comes, when we transition, that I don't freak out. I had my body, but I couldn't see it. There was someone who walked down the road coming toward me that I didn't see until a car behind him highlighted him. And I said, oh, there's somebody walking down here. And it was 3 vehicles that came down. And so when I saw him, I said, hey, how you doing, man? He didn't say nothing. He got about maybe 8 car lengths behind me and stood by the side of the road as another car passed by, and he was standing there staring at me. He couldn't see me. What is he doing? What was that? And I'm going to say, I don't know if I told you in that conversation the other night. I'm sitting here, and we're way up the country, so we didn't get the special drapes and blinds yet because we have to do the walls a certain way. I want to put stack stones and do all those. I'm taking my time. So the windows, you can't really see in them, but it's right there by the front porch. You can walk up. There's nothing there. I'm sitting here doing my stuff online in the dark, because I cut the lights out and it was late. Something told me to look over by the front window. There's a female form standing there. Did I tell you about that? I'm telling everybody about that.
We talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And to this day, this was last week. To this day, this is Scurv and I. She's like, that wasn't no person. So I got up.
That's a demon.
Yeah. No, and I told you, and I'm going to say it on the show live. There's more to it. I ain't going to tell that part. Other things have happened, but it's like, to me, you got away from all the stuff in the city. We're going to bring you temptation. We're going to bring you chastisement. Because when I went to, I sat there and I looked. I said, this is somebody. They didn't move 1 inch. I sat there and looked for about 90 seconds. And I said, let me walk. It was spooky. smoky because we have the lights on and everything, but they were so close I couldn't see the face. It was just a black silhouette from the waist up. So when I started to walk toward it, it saw the movement and then it started tapping on the window and waving his hands. I'm like, what the hell is this at 2:08 in the morning? So I went to the other window. I didn't go outside because I thought it was a setup, but there's nothing going on up here like that. So I slid back the window and I was very aggressive. I said, let me show that I'm not the kind of person you want to mess with. I'm not, oh, excuse me, darling, you could, what do you need? And she said, oh, I need money. I need money to go to Kumasi. That's 5 hours away, but it's 2:08 in the morning. Ain't no public vans going up there. I need to see my grandmother. Oh, please, I need money. I said, but she was dressed nicely.
But you knew you needed to see your damn grandmother before you came out the house. So why you here?
And why are you walking down them same dark roads? I would not. I'm not a scary person, but you got things. You got them grass cutters. This long, like maybe 5 foot long, right? They look like rats in the face, but they got skinny bodies and they're thick, like about maybe 8 inches across, and they wiggle and they got legs. I don't want nothing like that near me. They run from you though, but they shoot them and kill them and eat them. I don't want to see nothing like that. They got them running around on all kind of things. Not no lions and tigers, but then when she was begging, oh, and she got down on her knees, I'll do anything, please, I'll do anything. You ask most men 2:08 in the morning, you on your knees, that you do anything for a little money. What you think they gonna do? And then
activate. I know exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna activate that Swadhisthana chakra.
And so I noticed that she was very attractive. What is that supposed to do to me 2:08 in the morning? I'm not letting that demon in here. I cussed her out. I said, don't you ever come back here. I said, listen, I don't know who you working with, who you got down the block, if you casing my joint or whatever. I had to under the circumstances. I'm not a bad guy. If I was somewhere and a woman was in danger, I'm the first one to help. But that was too, and you standing there? I don't know you. We never talk like I'm doing yard work. Hey, how you doing? My name is Lance. So yeah, stop by anytime. Let's chat. No. A silhouette like that. But let's just be real here. Let me tell you what I saw. I saw some tight pants, a nice ass, little waistline, anti-gravity titties, and you told me you on your knees, jump, please, I'll do anything. With that lipstick on, that time of the morning with all that darkness, you dropping out the sky? You didn't just walk down the road. Ain't nothing around here like that. So you all tell me what you think that was in the chat room. I'm telling it like it is. No disrespect. I'm a married man, but I know a nice ass when I see one. She had a nice ass. I'm not trying to jump on it. I'm an old man now. I saw it though. I'm telling you what it is. If I let that entity inside this house, if I was by myself, right? Some dudes would sneak. Well, my wife was still sleeping. Come on down in the basement. But if I had let that thing in the house, what do you think would have happened? Even if I didn't do anything with it, if I did, it would have been even worse. Wasn't real, man. And Mrs. Scurv was like, I called her. Before I opened, I said, I had to wake her up. I don't call her full name anywhere in public or anywhere where anybody can hear. I'll say one syllable out of the name, and you won't even know that I'm calling her. So she came down. She was like, what the heck? She was right there, but I don't think the girl saw her because she was standing to the side. So when she walked away, because I amped it up, I said, if anybody comes in here, I'm looking for target practice. Feel free. If you wake me up out of my nighttime I'm sleeping, something's going to happen. I'm not violent. If I have to be violent, I'm out violent everybody around me, especially I'm in a new country, don't know many people, and I'm on my own. So don't play no games. Don't jump behind me to my boom. I might, before I turn around, I'm gonna knock you out, right? So she said the way that this thing walked away, the sideways and the movements of the body, it wasn't like I'm walking away now. How did you know to come off of that? It's a 2-lane road that's like 1.5 lanes the size of it, and it comes down from the village. Ain't no Walmarts up there. Ain't no Domino's Pizza up there. It's folks who sell their food, little markets. You get your eggs and your fruits and stuff like that. This is Africa. This is the outskirts. This is not where I used to be. This is up in the mountains, and it closed right 8 o'clock. It's done. Everything's closed. 2:08 in the morning. And if you're coming from the other side, that 15-mile side, it's impossible. You didn't leave up there and come down here. You didn't come from down here and come up here. Where'd you come from? I'm just saying. I'm telling like it is. I'm telling like it is.
It was a demon, and it was literally in its lower nature, the Swadhisthana chakra, which is sexual energy, and that is an active point because you got your genitals, and they're very active, and that's the chakra center where your genitals is at.
Exactly.
It's active. It gets hard. It gets wet, so it's an active energy center.
And I'm gonna add on another thing. Right before that, I'm doing my work. I wasn't sitting here looking at no porn, but my body was horny. I was horny. I was like, you know what I mean? And I look out.
No, because and there's an explanation to that, and I'm gonna go over that in the show. The bodies are pre-programmed already.
Oh,
that's why. Because this entity, everything that your body does, how it responds, it's all pre-programmed, and you are not even existing in your own mind. You are existing in the mind of y'all the Baal. So basically, everything that you experience, any action that your body has, it's because you're in the mindset and in the mainframe of the mind of y'all the Baal.
Right.
That's why it responds to everything a certain way, because the bodies are pre-programmed.
Right.
So you're not really experiencing your consciousness in its own true essence. You're experiencing reality in somebody else's mind.
I got to step away for 2 minutes. All right? Just keep talking. I got to talk to one of the guys here. Keep talking.
So you're experiencing your consciousness is not free. It's being basically, the body is pre-programmed. So when you get horny, this is not necessarily your consciousness. It's somebody else's consciousness. You are just experiencing reality from their mindset, from their thought form. It's not necessarily your consciousness, because the Ruach does not know nothing about no low negative thoughts and vibrations and experiences of sex. Because you know it's low, because you can get diseases from sex. You can get shit that you can't get rid of from sex, and basically it brings the soul and the spirit into discomfort. That's why when you have certain sexual interactions with people and you overdo it, it starts to smell and create a foul odor. Anything that is creating a foul odor is going to be bad for the soul, because the soul does not have no odor. It don't come with those negative frequencies. It's free. It's in bliss. It's in a natural state of peace. So how are you experiencing foul odors and bad smells coming from having sex? So that's telling you your energy center is being manipulated, basically. In order for you to keep engaging into these sexual activities, your energy center is being manipulated. And because you are in your unawareness, you just think that it's normal, that this is how life is. But like I always say, take the F out of life and take the V out of live. And what does that shit leave you with? A lie. Because your whole experience is a lie. And none of this shit is you not experiencing, none of it. It's to do with detach. Why do you need that dopamine hit of having sex with another individual? Because that's all you're getting is just a neurotransmitter that's being activated. And you're getting a release of dopamine. That's all that it is. You're not really getting, it's not really sex in the way that you think it is. It's just the neurotransmitters are releasing dopamine, and you're getting a shot of the dopamine or the norepinephrine. And that's how you're getting this speed and you having these experiences. It's not so much of the sex, it's just a release of energy. And you so fucking addicted to it that you have to keep doing it, because the body is pre-programmed, and they call that body the alien slave technology. Because it's an alien consciousness that created this system, and it created this system so all the other consciousness and energies in the cosmos can be a slave to it. So it can exist in its ego to think it's something that is not. It's not a king. You're not God. We all come from the star space. So how the fuck are you over us? The only ones that are over a lot of the spirits are the big celestial bodies. And you can tell when they're celestial body because the motherfuckers are powerful. And they're able to do numerous things, and they're able to hold a lot of information. You know a celestial body when you come in contact with one. You know. And most of these spirits are they're just atoms. And even the body itself is a cluster of atoms. But that entity created all of this shit. There are certain energies that's in this cosmos, or that's in this universe, this reality, this plane of existence. Their being did not form from a clustering of low negative vibrating energy. Some of them are literal celestial bodies. I'm one of them. So that's why I can't be, and I'm saying all the time, you can't program me, because I literally dispel all of that badass programming because I know it's bad for the soul. You can tell because it don't feel right. It makes you feel uncomfortable. So you know that it's bad for the soul, it's bad for the spirit, because you have to constantly drain your energy just to get that dopamine hit. So that's all it is. You just getting a hit of dopamine. It's like getting a shot of cocaine, or doing a line of cocaine, or getting a shot of heroin. It's the same thing. So most spirits are trapped in their lower nature because they can't see anything outside of the body. They can't understand energy. They don't understand frequency. They don't understand the quantum realm. They don't understand that they're a solar being. They don't understand none of that. All of that shit is speaking foreign language to them, because all they know is, I'm a human. I got a body. I'm a male. I'm a female. I have to have sex. I have to have a car. I gotta have a house. None of that shit exists when you go to sleep. None of it. So why is it that when you go to sleep, why you ain't a man then? Why you ain't a woman then? Why you ain't got a body then? Why you don't have a house then? Because as far as I know, you experience the motherfucking void when you sleep. It's pure blackness. And if you do experience a dream, it's temporary, because that shit dissipates quick. So I'm just saying, I just don't understand how most of the masses can get caught up with this shit, because the answer is right in front of you all the time. It smacks you dead in the face all the time. You know that you don't have no body when you go to sleep. So you constantly are interacting with this void the whole time, but because you don't know what it is, you just take it as it's sleep, and that's what I've been told. But no, you are experiencing the cosmos, and there is no physicality there. There is no material world there. It's all energy. And all you got to do is meditate to see it. You can see it. You can meditate, and you could be literally in meditative state and meditate for about a good hour. And if you're doing it right, you will start seeing light patterns and energy flowing around you. You will see the shit. Why you ain't experiencing nobody being in meditative state? Because in meditative state, you should be conscious enough to be aware of what you're experiencing. But because most do not know, most are completely devoid of awareness. They just think, oh, it's just sleep. Yeah, a bitch to tell you that to keep your ass stuck in and keep you sleeping on stupid. Because that's basically what you're doing. You stuck on stupid, thinking you got a goddamn body that carries shit and piss in it. And I just don't understand how most motherfuckers want to be even attached to that. It carries piss and shit in it. And on top of carrying piss and shit in it, if you don't bathe it and you don't give it your life force and your essence by washing it, by activating your Muladhara chakra, that bitch gonna stink and you're gonna smell like a walking cadaver. So why would you want to be that? Instead of you trying to attain the mental high Christos mind, because that's the only way you're getting out of here. You don't do that, and you don't come into your full stage of awareness, because like I tell them all the time, your goal is not for you to see here and come here and have all of these material experiences, because at some point you're going to die and the material realm will no longer exist anymore. So if the material world is not going to no longer exist anymore, What should you be doing? You should be trying to figure out where the fuck you going after that. Not trying to stay here because you know at some point in time you are going to experience that death. That is one thing that there is no exception to. You will experience that death. And when you do experience that death and your ass is floating out in the void, shouldn't you want to be aware of what the fuck is happening to you and what is going to happen when you leave that body? Instead of you just floating around in your unawareness and you're going to be vibrating in fear because when you can no longer have that body no more, your goddamn soul is going to be erratically vibrating. What you think is going to happen to an energy that was once in peace, that was once in bliss, and it didn't know anything about the body or any of that? What do you think is going to happen once your spirit vibrates in fear and it keeps vibrating in fear and it cannot understand why it doesn't have a body anymore? What the fuck do you think is going to happen? That bitch is going to explode in the void. Because this reality, every little choice that you make, every little thing that you do, just like if you, an example, if you make a choice to have a sex with, let's say a female make a choice to have a sex with a dude who is nasty, who don't take care of himself, but because he appears physically pleasing to her, but he's a negative energy and he doesn't take care of himself and she chooses to have sex with him, she's basically dirtying up her fucking energy by dealing with him because you chose to have sex with him and you chose to leap before you look deep and really understand what the fuck you dealing with. You basically are dirtying up your whole electromagnetic field, and that has a consequence: diseases, which is basically putting the spirit at dis-ease. It's not so much that a disease is this, it's dis-ease, meaning discomfort of the spirit and soul. And it just manifests as a disease in the reality because the spirits are thinking that the shit is real and it's so dense with energy here. They're all thinking the same shit like robots. So that's why it manifests as in a disease, but it's really dis-ease and discomfort of the spirit and the soul, because now it's electromagnetic field has been penetrated by another foreign energy that vibrates completely different from it, and there's going to be a repercussion and an effect of that. That's one of the laws of the cosmos, cause and effect. So you can't escape these laws. These laws apply to everything. Lance, are you here? Oh, he's not back yet. But I want to go over with y'all tonight when I do this show. I want to go over with y'all about the chakra system, and I want to go over this entity, this chief archon, y'all debate off, because this motherfucker is the main reason why this reality is in existence. And those 12 zodiac signs, they're not what you think they are. And I'm going to break that down tonight, too. They're not what you think they are. They're on the demonic, too. They're not what you think they are. Everything has been a lie. You do not need no motherfucking spirit guides. You need to know who you are. Knowing is power. Knowledge is power. Not believing in shit outside of yourself. Because if you believe in something outside of yourself, you can be manipulated. And the bitch ain't gonna manipulate me. Period. Because this reality is ran off fucking manipulation. Because it's manipulation of energy. That's why it's in existence. Because most of the masses' energy has been manipulated to believe some shit that ain't real. So I want y'all to be prepared tonight. Because I want y'all to buckle up. Because when I go through this chakra system, I want everybody to come in a full understanding of when you interact with other entities and you interact with this reality in your body, your soma, you are in the lower frequencies and the lower energy centers of your chakra. This is how you know, this is how you can test yourself. So this is how you know if you are in the Christ mind and you're ready to ascend. Because if you can't get past that body, you're not leaving this reality. And which means you stuck on a low frequency. Because if you can't understand that you are body and you are energy and you're an eternal being, you're not going to leave this realm and you're going to be stuck here. Because all you got to do is go out fucking side and see all those nasty ass bugs swarming all over the place. That basically the reality is coming into decay, basically. Because that's basically what you're witnessing. And when you see all them bugs and death flying around, it's like seeing a rotted, molded sandwich. It's the same thing. The reality is molded and rotted. That's why you see all them fucking nasty ass entities. All of this shit is bad because the solar realm don't come with none of that. And it's beautiful. You travel in blazing effulgence, light, energy, frequency. It don't have none of no motherfucking mosquitoes and flies and shit spitting maggots out and fucking mosquitoes biting the shit out of you. You can't even be outside 5 minutes. Some motherfuckers swarming around you and you. And you gonna call that reality? That's not reality. It's not, because I don't want to experience that. I don't know about nobody else, but I definitely don't want shit biting me. I'm sorry. So with that, I want y'all to know that y'all are going on the ride tonight when I do this podcast with Lance. And I want y'all to come into a full understanding of the chakra system because it is very important and you need to understand it. You really need to, and then you also need to come into understanding about the reptilian brainstem. You need to understand that too. Understand the mind, understand your highest chakra, which is that the so-called brain, but it's really the highest chakra. You need to come into an understanding of that because if you don't, you're not getting out of here and you can fuck your soul over. Because most spirits are existing in the reptilian brainstem, survival, fight or flight. You really supposed to be in the neocortex to be able to think critically and analyze and observe your surroundings and come into a full understanding of what reality is. If you have not done that, you doing your soul and your spirit a disservice. So I just want that to be known. I will be going over this stuff tonight when we do this recording of this show. Because I got my show written out, I got all my notes, and I want all of y'all to come into a full awareness because I told y'all that before I leave this realm, that I want to leave behind information so that y'all can download it and be able to have it and keep going over it until you come to a full understanding and you able to see it. And there is a girl that I'm going to tell y'all about tonight in this show who had the exact same experience that I had. And she is from the LANCESCURV show. She had the same experience that I had, and she reached out to me and everything. Now, this girl reached out to me from nowhere. So you can't make none of this shit up. Because one thing about the spirit and the soul, it cannot be told to you. It has to be experienced. That's why most people don't, when you talk about the spiritual realm to them, they don't get it. Because they haven't really, truly experienced the Ruach, the Holy Ruach, in its fullness, in its quintessence, in its essence. They haven't experienced it. That's why you speak in foreign language to them because they still stuck in their lower chakra. You can tell when a motherfucker is stuck in their lower chakra because they be on their human shit. They're not on their quantum shit and their solar shit and their eternal true self, which is the higher mind. If they're not talking about that, they're stuck in their lower chakra. Lance, are you here?
I'm right here soaking it up. I'm like that roach in the refrigerator.
You were here the whole time.
Yeah, no, I got back a little early. I didn't want to break your flow, but I do have to go in a few. But this is a taste of what you're going to get tonight.
That's what I was about to tell you.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to tell you because it's starting to be a lot of noise and stuff around here.
Yeah, no problem.
So I wanted to let them know what I was going to go over tonight.
Yeah, I heard
wanted to come into a full understanding of it.
That's right. We're going to put this everywhere.
I will call you around 6:30.
Right.
Because I got to charge this phone up before I leave and get that battery pack for it. If it does get low, I can charge it back up.
Your 6:30 is my 10:30. But I'm good because I'm basically free until that time. I may make some little short videos or something.
Good.
But I'm free and we got stuff going on here. I got to look over the guys and talk to them about stuff and wash myself, eat, and just do regular stuff. But I'm here. I mean, if I take a step out, that's not going to bother me for later on, because 6:30 your time is 10:30 my time. I am not going to be out in them streets with them big booty demons.
Good. And I need you to get some type of nap or something, because I want you to be in this show too, Lance.
Oh, I'll be there.
You know how I am about that.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be dance partners. Yes. But I won't dominate you. I'll let you flow on what you have to say, but I'll be there to keep it going. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I'll be the co-host.
Is this the what I was talking about? Is this going to be, obviously this is a tag to the show you not so on previously, correct?
Oh yeah. This show I started a certain way, but when folks gradually hear, because they're going to listen to it, they're going to be hits on this after it goes up as a video after we get off of it. They're going to hear it's like, yo, I need to be there. So whichever way we do it, I will blast it out. I'll do it in the YouTube community area on this channel, on the Rumble, whatever area they have, I'll blast it out there. Push come to shove, like I say, we always run into interference when we start out a show and speak like this. This show started out different. You see the title, The Mainstream Media Deception at its Best. We slipped this one in here. This can work, but when they know it's, so I'll hook that up, but I want it recorded just in case I have a power outage, just in case the internet goes out on my side. I want to have it in the cloud where you can keep going. That's the main thing, that we're not going to be interrupted. Yesterday I did something around this time and it kept getting messed up, and I don't know what happened after that. But whichever way I do it, it's going to be rock solid. So let me formulate that. But whatever way we do it, we're going to have it recorded, and we'd like it to be live. If we don't have it live, it's going to be recorded. And if it is in the conference line, I'll put that number out so people can come in and listen to it live as it's recorded. You see what I mean? But it may not be live when you see it on YouTube, but I'll put it up afterward in order to not get the interference that prying eyes may want to bring to us. You see what I mean? So I'll cook it up. And if I do go live with it and it knocks out, we'll have it recorded. Say it again?
Right. And I was going to say I'll call you around 6 or 6:30.
Anytime. I have my notifications on. I have the phone turned up. I'm here. I got my internet. I'm straight. You call, I pick up.
It's going to be a Friday night, Lance. I need you to get a nap or something, because I need you to be up.
I'm going to nap out. I'm going to lay down. Like I said, here around 6:15, it's dark. So I'll be in. So if I take a run out right now, like I say, it's 1:51 for me. I may take a walk up into town and look over the mountains and enjoy myself, whatever, after a good meal. And when I come back, it's on and popping. But I'm going to still create some other content too. We're just going to flow with it. But tonight.
And I do this out of the love of my soul, Lance, because I'm going to get the fuck up out of here.
I know.
I don't give a fuck. I'm going to get the fuck up out of here, because that my mindset. I noticed that now with how I am, I'm not really gonna fit in nowhere because I know too much.
Right. No, I understand.
And I'm not gonna let a bitch tell me what is and what ain't when I know what is and what is not.
Mm-hmm.
So so I don't have no other choice but to ascend to my higher self, because that's the only option that I have.
Right. Now, this is what I want to add on. No, go ahead. I want to say something after you finish.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I found this banner here with the number. Push come to shove, and if we're not on live, for those who are watching now who say I want to get down with the show, I'm putting the number up to the conference line. That's the number to the conference line. Make a note of that. We will be on it, and if we're not live, we'll be live on that. And for those who international who want to get in on it, I will share a link in the community section of YouTube where you can, on any device without calling in, you could be in Brazil, you could be in Czechoslovakia, you can just click that like a link and get in. But for those who are in the continental US and Canada, you can call in on that. I'll provide the link later on in the community area, and I'll blast it everywhere else. See? So that way anybody can watch the show, right? If it's just on the conference line. So we'll do it that way. Now I hold it to 100 people. Say it again.
If you in your higher nature and your higher chakra, you don't want to miss it because it probably confirms a lot of the shit you are thinking.
Right. Exactly. So that's the number, y'all. That's the number. All those fails. That's the
I
number.
will definitely give you a call around 6:30, and we should be ready to roll around 7.
Right. 7 for you is 11 for me. I'll be well rested and ready. And I don't expect any interruptions from any well-shaped horny demons. So we gonna rock.
They out, them succubus and incubuses is out there.
Oh, I know. I lock eyes with a lot of them, and the ones that are human, I lock eyes with a lot of them, and I already see what they're transmitting. You know what I mean? So I'm good. That's why I want to just stay home all the time. Stay home.
Because when you go, the minute you go to the door, it's a feeding ground.
Of course, because everything, my whole consciousness, my essence is stirring up in what it is. I have total focus here. I have no distractions here. And when I go out, I'm so full of good energy and that creative energy. It's like, he's a good meal. So things are offered to me.
Oh yeah, so they can see you from a mile away.
Yeah, I'm glowing. I'm not, and it's not even bragging. I'm glowing. I'm glowing these days. I'm glowing. And I tell you, I go so hard until when it's time to sleep, I fall out. Like I fell out last night, but it was a good falling out. It was a thing where I did all I could do today on so many other levels, you know, because a lot of other things I'm doing. And I'm just happy to be able to be in this space for the time that I'm here on this earth. I'm in my lane. I'm here to do what I'm supposed to do. And I know what it is. And I'm very happy about that. And it's just so much. I'm looking forward to every single day. And I thank you, Danina, for sharing what you share. I love you very much. And I mean that not in a hypocritical, superficial, stupid way, but it's for who you are and what you've been made to be. And it's brilliant. I'm just so glad to take this part of the journey with you and many who are here in the chat room. I say that every day. And if I don't say it, I think it every day. You validate me. Many people here validate me.
And I absolutely graciously thank you for being the conduit to be able for this information to get out, because like I said, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this, even as God said, all is God. He says either you're gonna be raised in a demonic family or you're gonna be raised in an angelic family. I was raised in a demonic family, and either coming from that, you're gonna be either demonic or you're gonna be angelic. So if I'm telling you the truth and I'm telling you how to escape this shit clearly, I'm angelic. I might come off harsh and brute, but that's because of the shit that I've been through. I'm not tolerating nobody's shit. Because I was raised by demons, I had experienced a lot of bad shit that I wasn't supposed to experience. So you can only be demonic or angelic. There is no in between.
That's right.
Because the cosmos don't work like that. It's either it is or it ain't.
Wow.
So
Beautiful.
I will definitely tune into y'all tonight. Buckle up and be prepared to go on this ride, because it's going to be a hearty, enlightening, Christ consciousness mind ride. So be ready and buckle up.
Yes. Warp factor 10.
I will call you around, absolutely, and I will call you around 6 to 6:30, Lance, and we'll be ready to rock.
I'll be sitting here like a cat, looking at the mouse hole, waiting for the mouse to come out. I'll be looking at my phone, waiting for it to ring.
Absolutely.
All right, sweetheart.
So I will be into y'all later. Be ready.
All right. Peace. Much love. We're going to do
All
it.
right.
All
Thank you, Lance.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Much love.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf? Why are we deaf? Dumb and blind. Behind, so far behind. Why are we mistreated? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plain that before the white man gained entry to the east, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast. Eating juniper root and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China, he took silk, he took gunpowder. From India he took manganese and rum. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast he took barrels of oil untold, raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. To America, we were living in the east. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes, necklaces of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and firewater. Tricks and lies, he stole America, the original of this nation, is cooped up on a reservation. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man. So he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery. Sell a man as merchandise, on his body put a price. Oh my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell.
Hey, this is Oscar the Lawyer. You're listening to the LANCESCURV Show.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war